Hello, and welcome back once again to Doomed, not so solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. I promised myself I wouldn't say once again in that intro, but here we are. I am joined this week, as I am many weeks, and specifically through this Dark Matter campaign, by my co-pilot, the Crosshare.
Hello.
Hello, Crosshare. Howdy.
Hello. I'm just looking at the agenda and stuff, and uh-oh.
Yeah. I like the sound of uh-oh. That's never good. Oh boy. Okay, so I was gonna say, are we excited for the scenario? But it sounds like the answer is maybe not so much.
It's a solid maybe.
I always like that. I'm realizing, I think, more and more I do really enjoy when scenarios flip certain ideas or themes on their heads, but I also like really how do I say this, like it's gonna sound weird because it's Arkham, but thematic, almost real world scenarios, you know? Oh, go and interview these people, try to figure out who the secret mystery person is, you know, like regular investigation scenarios.
Yeah, possible in real world.
Yeah, exactly, right? Whereas, you know, of course, this scenario has been anything but, and it's been great for that reason.
Half of it has been possible.
That is very true. Yes. It's been, oh boy. Well, yeah, I mean, if you recall, we had that horrible dream where we got trounced and driven insane in scenario 2. I'm glad it was just a dream. Oof, would have been bad otherwise. Oh. So, in the chat, hello to the creator of this mod, Xlotl, which I honestly don't know how to pronounce that creature's name, and I never have, and I never will. Welcome to Doomed. I'm joined, of course, today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Hello. Just wanted to thank you once again. I mean, I've been thanking you out the wazoo on this stream here, but we were just saying how much this campaign has been, like, infuriating, but also pretty freaking fabulous. So thank you very much for the creation of it. Crosshair, you can see here. I'm just going to call you Axe. That works.
That helps.
I think that's going to help. I'm quite worried about this scenario. Hope you don't hate me by the end of it. If we do, we will cancel Doomed, never play again, and we will not progress to the last scenario, and that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, the stream is just gonna end, and we'll never talk to you again.
Correct. No, we'll never talk to each other again as well. Like, it's very important you understand, Axe, you will ruin friendships.
I'll delete my Discord and Twitter.
Yeah, that's good. Oh gosh, Crosshair. Oh, we shouldn't joke about things like that.
I'll just go away.
Oh no. Before we jump into it, I don't think I have any like admin or whatever. Just a couple of reminders. The first is, I guess, a bit admin-y. After this stream, we'll be raiding over to the Coolians stream of The Walking Dead. However, after this stream on Discord, on the RPG Clinic Discord, I am hosting a movie night. We're going to be watching an episode of Jonathan Frakes' Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction, followed by A Muppet Christmas Carol. Big fan. Big fans. I hope Crosshair, you're not too wiped I hope you're able to make it.
Oh no, I woke up at 3 p.m. so all good.
Whoa, that's in the future.
It's like 8 a.m. your time, so...
Right. Huh. I guess that... Oh, there you go. You know what? I'm seeing it now. Other prelude-y stuff before we jump into the actual story. As a reminder, last time on Doomed, Calvin and Carolyn ventured inside their own mind. Okay, I've got a cat. That's fine. By the end of the scenario, you might be wiped. That does not sound good at all.
Sounds pretty normal.
Sounds pretty normal, actually. That's a good point, too. Last scenario, Calvin and Carolyn ventured into their mindscapes, a recreation of the Ward Theater in Arkham, where they confronted their other selves, their cultist self, residing deep within their brain, and managed to, spoiler alert, defeat them, which was great. Skin of our teeth a little bit. Sorry. Butt of our Thompson is maybe more accurate.
Yeah.
But, it was close, but we did it. And managed to, well, we'll see what that information has provided to them. But specifically, in terms of experience spent and so on between scenarios, I wanted to make something very clear. If you are watching on the YouTube, feel free to skip this down below. There's a time code to where we start the action, but I think it's important to be transparent. We earned some experience. Crosshair bought some shiny things, or Carolyn bought some shiny things, which we will hopefully see in the scenario. Calvin was able to use his sort of experience within his own mind, interface with the medical bot on board the Tatterdemalion, and undo some of the damage that had been caused to himself over the previous scenarios. Mechanically speaking, I both discovered on the backside of Agenda 3A, with help from Axe, thanks Axe, that we could remove a mental trauma, and I spent my 5 experience with a house rule. Sorry, I took a rule from the Forgotten Age where I also bought off another trauma. It was getting a little scary, 2 scenarios from the end. I don't want to be instantly killed early scenario and just have Crosshair have to, slowly claw out a win. Less good.
I can do it.
Oh, I bet you can. It's just, it would be sad. I would be sad. So just, transparent. That's what happened between scenarios. But I'm ready to jump into it. Crosshair, how are you feeling?
I should be good. I think I'm gonna go through my deck like 3 times or 4 times.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's very possible. I was gonna say, like, hopefully it's not that long of a scenario, but I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was just today thinking that usually we have like 20 or so due before we're screwed. Like 20 turns to go, but with this agenda, well, we'll get to it. But
we're gonna find out when we find out, right?
Yep.
So, yes, we just completed the Machine in Yellow, in which Calvin and Carolyn, like I said, ventured inside their own minds, defeated their other selves, and managed to uncover information from their previous cultists' minds. Let's see how they put it to work. I'm gonna read, of course, our intro, our agenda, and our act, and then we are gonna get doomed. Axe, I hope you're excited. I have to say, I'm not supposed to, of course, but like I can't help but see things in the FAQ that's listed here. And just the first point under scenario 5, I just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Oh, and you're giving me a heads up that next scenario is gonna be a long one too. All right, that is actually good to know, Axe. Thank you.
It might be actually a good one for the first Saturday of next year.
That is true. Yeah, that might work out. There'd be a long break in between, but it is the holidays, Okay, here we go. Scenario 5, Fragment of Carcosa. There's no time to waste. As if it were muscle memory, because it kind of is, you adorn the makeshift shrine by installing one of the quantum shards in the center. Several of the golden discs obtained from the Migo must be placed in front, aligned to form a syzygy. With the components in order, you pronounce the unspeakable message from Earth. Let the red dawn surmise what we shall do when this blue starlight dies and all is through. The golden discs begin trembling, building momentum until they all turn upright and begin to roll around the shrine in one direction. The quantum artifact's hue shifts into a yellow glare before glowing an intense and dense red. The discs spin around and around the surface at different but consistent speeds until they finally slow down to a crawl and fall over simultaneously. Then, as suddenly as it began, the red shard erupts in a fog of nebulous gas, blinding you in its flurry. When your eyesight returns, all that remains are the golden discs resting at various locations across the floor. You instinctively recognize this as a schematic of the solar system. Upon closer examination, a single remnant of the purple shard remains between what you believe is Jupiter and Saturn's orbits. K2PS 187 confirms that the depiction is accurate to the current star time and begins plotting a course towards the asteroid. On the way there, you think of the different worlds you've visited and many adventures you've experienced. Adventures. Both in this world and in your own. Throughout every interaction, every quest, is the underlying sense of hope and optimism for the future. This future does not deserve to become another pawn to the Mad King, and you intend to stop that from happening. When you arrive, the asteroid does not resemble what you had expected. The egg-shaped asteroid is about 4 kilometers at its widest and looks awfully normal. The yellow color is closer to a murky brown than gold. It is littered with craters and cavities battered by the harshness of space. Without delay, you suit on and descend onto the surface of Fragment, ready to face the royal princess of Carcosa. Ooh. Yeah, what more can I say here? It's pretty exciting. I'm really jazzed that we managed to, Calvin and Carolyn managed to make their way. They figured out the puzzle, so to speak, I guess. They found their way to Fragment. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now we just have to finish it.
Yeah, well, now we just have to, exactly.
Semi-finish it.
Semi-finish, exactly. We'll see why there's a whole, maybe there is no other scenario after this, who knows. Setup is all done, I believe. I'm just checking to make sure there's nothing specific here. Set a bunch of things out of play, set a bunch of things out of play. We begin at surface of Fragment, which I believe we are. Additional rules. In this scenario, you may be instructed to flip a location to its other side. When this occurs, simply flip the location, keeping everything on the same location, which will have a different name. Then add clues up to its clue value. Fine. Locations with cannot be flipped, simply ignore the instructions to flip it. So, that's pretty straightforward. When it says flip a location, we flip it and we put clues on it, and everything stays there.
And if it says don't flip it, then we don't flip it.
Bryzinga, hello. Welcome to... Just checking, that was the resolutions. Good. Welcome to Doomed. I'm joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Okay. Agenda?
Should we look at the FAQ, or should we look at it later if we need to?
Yeah. I think later if we need to. I keep it in my back pocket as a it's there probably to explain the things that are complicated, and hopefully it'll be easy breezy, easy sailing.
Yeah, as always.
As always, exactly. No problems. Agenda 1A, the shadows lengthen. Oh, Axe is going to be here to answer questions or give hints. That's actually really sweet, and I'm really excited. We will try not to use the hint system unless we need to. The shadows lengthen. Although your scanners have not detected any anomalies within Fragment, stepping down onto the surface still invokes a sense of dread like no other. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to Doomed. I'm joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
You can't help but feel... I'm sorry to go straight from that greeting into this sentence. You can't help but feel like something horrible will happen if you take too long dawdling around. There is no Doom threshold. Keep adding Doom to this agenda.
Yep.
You really don't like to see that. One of the rules of Arkham, other than burn the Necronomicon, is how much time do we have? It says if you take too long, something bad will happen. That's the feeling you get, but there's no threshold. And it goes real high, Crosshair. So I guess we have infinite turns, really.
Yep.
Act 1A, in Lost Carcosa. During the descent, the glimmer of a man-made structure could be seen in the distance. The remnants of the prior cultist expedition. They must have left traces as to how to enter the Grand Palace. Objective. Okay, this is a clear objective. Good. If abandoned lander is revealed, and there are no clues on it, advance.
There it is.
That's the only other location, so that's good.
I can see it. It has no clues.
It has no clues on it. It's not revealed yet, I guess. That's the only thing. The crooked cliffs and dusty craters do not suggest anything artificial. By all accounts, it appears to be natural. It's one of my favorite horror tropes. When you, just say that something...
Subscriber. Thank you.
Graspy Loot. Thank you very much for the subscription. Well, we are up early. Both Crosshair and I are up early, so to speak.
Yeah.
Gotta get that doomed in before the holidays. Am I right? Yeah, let's that's it, Crosshair. We don't know what we're doing. We're just trying to get clues off the, we're trying to figure out where Fragment is. Let's do it. Let's get doomed.
4, 1, 2. Everything seems
No
fine.
big deal. I'm a charismatic scrapper with a heart of gold, and you're a shiny collecting, robot loving, kid hating psychologist.
Yeah, as you are.
As you do. Okay, well, we're putting that back right away. Okie dokie. We do not like any of this, honestly. We really, I don't mind this. I will keep it just in case. Draw 3 more. That's also a weakness. Get it together.
Nope. Nope.
No, we don't like it, eh?
Huh. Well, I have to keep it anyway, but
If we're not
Yeah,
mad,
that'll-
we're not mad.
that'll do.
All right. Let us have a look.
Uh,
Oh, yes.
My cards went all wonky. There we go.
Wonky. Let's have a look at the surface of Fragment. The rocky surface is soft to the touch, covered by the ever so light layer of golden dust. Every gravityless step you take imprints your footprints into the ground. This is a 4-shroud, 0-clue location that can't be flipped. Done. There's nothing here. Done. Easy. Boom. How do we want to start this off, Crosshair?
Well, I have a thing I gotta do with my deck again, so
Okay, why don't you get started there, psychologist?
should I just move?
If you want, I think it's good to have stuff out before we get overrun by the horrors of this place, which we don't know what they are, so, you know, it could be anything.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I just have to do this,
All right.
which is the usual that Carolyn pulls out her backpack. and
Sure. What's in the backpack? Yeah.
goes digging.
Presumably,
You can, yeah, you can basically take your turn because I'm gonna probably play something else.
well, I'll definitely describe what Calvin's plan is. I won't take my turn just in case you end up thinking like, oh, I won't play 2 cards. I'll just play 1 and move on or whatever. I don't know. Just in case. But I'll let you have a look in your backpack there. In the meantime, Calvin is looking around indeed. Like, I think there's something to consider here, which is neither of these people really have that much experience in... They have some experience in the occult, surely, but they don't have that much experience in astronomy, space mechanics. Like, they're headed for this abandoned lander. You spot a single structure you recognize as a landing shuttle. This must be where the cultists set up their survey base camp when they first arrived. But certainly if they have to get it working again, there's just no way. They don't have the know-how between them. I think it bears mentioning as well, these two are along for this ride because they have to be, not because they want to be. They're not necessarily, Calvin, I mean, I can't really speak for Carolyn, but Calvin is not investigating the Mad King and the cult that destroyed Earth because he wants to. He doesn't want to destroy it. He just wants to survive. And in doing so, hopefully, bring a measure of peace to the solar system. That's sort of the hope.
Yep, Carolyn's just here to see what she can find. Maybe something new to take back to Earth. Maybe
Yeah,
get
sure.
home.
I don't think we're going back to Earth, which is...
Ah,
yeah.
Well,
What else do you have there,
Carolyn
Carolyn?
does. Yeah, Carolyn does dig around her backpack.
Pick.
And no, go away. Thank you. Pick out 2 things. First off,
Mm-hmm.
a flashlight,
Mm-hmm.
because the asteroid is very, very dark.
Well, it's
I
space,
think.
right? We're probably on the dark
Yeah.
side of it quite often, I imagine.
And then a hollowed mirror,
Gorgeous.
which is an upgraded one.
So this is the upgraded hallowed mirror. Naturally, not to put words in your mouth necessarily, Crosshair, but presumably her time spent reflecting on herself also charged up this mirror and its powers. Somehow.
Same old mirror she uses in her hypnosis therapy and stuff like that.
Of
but
course.
It seems to shine a little bit brighter in this asteroid sphere.
So Hallowed Mirror has gained 2 abilities. The first is actually it's just lost something. When Hallowed Mirror leaves play, Soothing Melodies no longer leave play with it, which is actually pretty sneakily good in and of itself. The other thing is it now has a reaction. It says when you play a copy of Soothing Melody, either change each 2 on it to a 3, which means heal a total of 3 damage in horror, or shuffle it into your deck instead of discarding it, which is fabulous. It's fabulous. You can choose every time. That's great news. Great stuff.
Yeah. Means that I can heal 2 and put it back in my deck, or heal 3 and put it in my discard pile.
When you're close to the end. Exactly. For example, which is great. Okay, so that's pretty good. Calvin is not ready to set off yet either. He's going to make sure that he has everything that he needs. Naturally, his spacesuit offers some measure of protection. Lodged... it's made of leather, I don't know. Lodged in his pocket. Oh, these are the worst versions. I had to exile. I busted the better versions in the last scenario or the one before it, maybe. Haven't been able to rebuy them yet. In his pocket is the ring from his love that he, of course, keeps around just as a way of grounding himself, trying to remember that even if they are facing off against the horrors of the universe, at least he's got something to remember himself by. And of course, the man, the legend, Erwin Simmons, the quantum physicist, has been brought with them. He is ecstatic to be looking into this asteroid. He's like, wow, look at all this. He's seeing quantum phenomena everywhere that we can't see, or at least Calvin can't see. Erwin Simmons is the ally that lets you put the top card of the encounter deck into your threat area in order to fight or evade and investigate, so actionlessly. But if he ever leaves play, draw all your face-down encounter cards in your threat area, which is good.
Which always goes so well.
Oh, exactly, right? So that's it for our first investigation phase. They're just suiting up here, making sure they have what they need at the surface of Fragment before heading on. We'll upkeep. You do like to see that. That's something you like to see.
Yeah. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Let's get Doom. So we're putting 1 Doom out of infinity. There's no Doom threshold. Keep adding Doom to this agenda. We're going to draw our encounter cards. I'm really hoping mine just says you lose.
Yeah.
Just something like that. Ooh. Okay. This is Sophistic Spires. And midnight sounded from the misty spires in the fog-wrapped city. So, okay, here's the thing. It spawns at the nearest Carcosa location. I wonder if there are any. There are none right now. So this is just going to whiff for now, but I'm going to look at it for when it comes back. Sophistic Spires is a 2/5/5 obstacle. It's massive, because they're spires, you see. It doesn't attack during the enemy phase. But what it does do is, if you take attacks of it's massive, so if you enter its location and then do anything that isn't dealing with the spires, it will hit you for 2 horror.
Yeah, it's basically a spiky obstacle.
Exactly. A spike for your mind. Yeah. But there are no Carcosa locations in play, so I'm going to just remove that, and I'm going to say freebie this round.
See. Oh. Okay.
Oh, well.
I'm just gonna thank Axe for this one.
But we don't know what it is, but I hope it's good.
Don't continue yet.
Oh, okay.
It has a surge.
Oh, Surge.
Yeah.
There we go. Put that back to the mythos phase. Oh, a hidden card with Surge. Yuck. It's
Wait,
like,
what?
What? Okay. I certainly can't help Carolyn right now.
Okay.
But she's struggling with something.
Search. The person's domain. Oh. Oh. Okay. So, the you know who is apparently looking.
Sure. Well, so we watched the play, the really boring amateur spaceship production of The King in Yellow. And if I recall correctly, the idea is that the Mad King in Yellow had 3 children. The 2 sons tried to usurp him and failed, because obviously he sees everything. Yes, of course he does. And the daughter didn't help, but also didn't warn, so he exiled her here. So I guess technically this, or like he took a piece of Carcosa, a fragment, if you will, and yeeted it into space. So this is kind of his domain in a way. All right, I'm gonna try to get rid of this ASAP. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
I was just thinking that I'll do the same. Like, I have another turn coming that I need to do things, so I have a plan already, I think.
All right. Well then, if you have your plan, I'm happy to be. Calvin's happy to react, be reactionary for now.
Yeah, I'm just looking, making sure that I got this hidden thing correct.
I will say I don't know what it is, of course, but if it's in the FAQ, it'll be... No, I guess maybe not.
No, no need. I just need to read.
Just like 800 words of text in tiny writing.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay. So... That's that. Okay. I'm just gonna try and stare down the you know who and get rid of it.
Okay.
So that's just 3 on 3 because not gonna spend anything on it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You're so... Oh my god, so lucky. So, literally, we get this creeping sensation, right, that this is... We're being watched, perhaps. Does not belong to humanity. And Carolyn's just like, nope.
Yep. It's okay. His domain can't hurt you.
You know, actually, you know what? That's a fair point, Doc. That's a fair point.
Then, as the next thing, I'm just gonna heal 2.
Yeah. Awesome.
And put it back in my deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You resolve the draw on it first before shuffling it back in because it says draw right before. But, But just so that you can't theoretically keep getting it back forever.
Yeah, if I had 1 card left in the deck.
Oh, exactly right. Yeah, you were just...
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just heal 1 and 1 and take 1 resource.
Not so bad. Not so bad.
And then, as Carolyn is used to, as her last action, she pulls into her backpack and pulls out a backpack.
A smaller backpack. I always love the backpack in a backpack business. That's always very funny to me.
And then I'm gonna go digging.
All right. Calvin's got, you know, his trusty chopping blade. This is not one from the Ward Theater. This is not a wooden-handled axe from the 1920s. This is, you know, carbon fiber steel from the Tatterdemalion. But it can still do damage if he needs it to. Keeps it close. Not because he's expecting to see cultists here, but because there is an unnerving sense of what is going on. And then Crosshair, I'll move into the new location. Continue doing your thing. But I'll read here. Abandoned Lander. Abandoned Lander. You remember now that there was one survey team that never left the asteroid, the team that awakened Tasilda. Is this their shuttle? This is a 4-shroud, 2-clue location. It can't be flipped as well. It says, while investigating this location, reduce the shroud by 1 for each tally mark next to your memories. Now, if you recall, Calvin used all of his memories in his fight against the horror of the Ward Theater. So I have none left, which is maybe bad. I guess we're going to find out. Carolyn still has a couple of her previous memories. She's, you know, obviously as a psychologist, she's got a lot more mental capacity for that sort of thing.
Yep. So that's gonna be me, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll start anyway, just because I'm here. I'll try. I'm evens. I'm evens, and that's fine. Yeah, these things aren't so bad right now. The likeliest scenario is just the
Carcosa, yeah.
cave and Carcosa locations, neither of which are here. Okay, so yeah, so I'm just gonna, I'll just test and try to grab one of these clues. 4 to 4. That's the new -5 token. Good. Calvin cannot decipher anything from this landing shuttle. Oh, that's us, eh? That's it. Okay, great. So we're back to upkeep. We made some progress. Not really.
I'd say so, because I got things.
You got things. Okay. So we go to 2 Doom out of Infinite. We draw some encounter cards. Again, Calvin is poking around this lander, hoping that Carolyn will be able to catch up soon and try to help him piece it out. Oh, I'm going to once again discard this. This is another Sophistic Spires, which I love, by the way. Can I just say I love the design? Like, the art is cool, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's the design of this card that's important. The Spires of Carcosa are a big theme throughout Path to Carcosa and that story and so on, but, like, the idea that there are spires and that they're, like, an obstacle is really cool. So anyway, I got another freebie.
This place is unstable. Well, who would have thunk it?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Threat area.
Woof. What does it do? What it is an unstable dimension, but, you know.
Yeah, at the end of your turn, take 2 damage and flip your current location to its other side, then discard this card.
Right.
Or spend 2 resources, discard this card.
Okay. Right, so you can take the time to sort of, like, restabilize, I guess, part of the dimension, or move, I guess, and then, or it will collapse you through a sinkhole and hurt you.
Yeah, it's, Carolyn is just figuring out that this whole place is a bit unstable.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't dally.
No, we definitely shouldn't dally. All right, it's back around to us. Do you want to go? I mean, my plan is just to try to get these clues, but I can't really help myself with it too much.
I have 3 actions that I need to take.
Go for it.
Okay, first off, bye-bye.
No more
Carolyn.
unstable dimensions.
Yeah, much like the domain of Hastur, she also doesn't believe that this place is that unstable, so we
It's
can
just a
continue.
small asteroid, right? She's a real skeptic, Carolyn.
Yeah. I believe in science.
Good thing to believe in.
Next up, the resources, and spend those 3 resources.
Right away, boom.
Yes. So now she has both her necklaces dangling around her neck, as she is wont to do.
I can see it for Carolyn. She seems like a big chunky necklace kind of lady, you know? It's good, it's good.
To get that bling.
Get that bling. Terraria for Life, welcome to Doomed. We also believe in science here on Doomed. And I'm joined by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. All right, so you go ahead.
Oh, that was me.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't have much to do, unfortunately. Calvin currently, is feeling like there's a little more breathing room, so to speak, after his encounter with his other self, but he does want to try to piece together what he can here at the lander. This is a 4-shroud location. I have 4 sanity. I'm just going to investigate evens. This is -2. I'm not at a Carcosa location, so it's okay. I'm not going to be able to succeed, but maybe I'll get one of the clues. That's a 0, so that's a success. Calvin,
a clue.
A clue. Calvin manages to find what? He finds some traces of the direction in which people must have gone. Sort of there's a cluster of footsteps leading off in one direction. But they're obviously very faded. And I'll try investigating again. 4 to 4. Hey, that's an elder sign. I may either heal a damage or horror or take a damage or horror. I have some soak out. I'm going to take a direct damage. just in case. But I will also get this clue, which means, annoyingly, now it's the end of the investigation phase, but if abandoned lander is revealed and there are no clues on it, advance. So,
alright.
We're going to find out if I have ruined our lives. Act 1B, Where All is Lost. Hidden within a compartment of the abandoned shuttle is a 2-sided map of the asteroid created by the cultists during their initial exploration. On one side of the map, there are drawings of vast tunneling caverns spreading throughout the interior of Fragment. Ooh. When you flip it over to its other side, the map depicts something else instead. A grand palace, with hallways replacing tunnels and majestic chambers in the place of subterranean cavities. I love this. I'm so excited. It appears that there are certain weaknesses in the veil of reality that allow the explorers to temporarily shift certain places into the dimension known as Carcosa. You're going to love this, Crosshair. If the investigators watched Heir to Carcosa, boom!
Finally.
It comes back. I mean, it makes sense that it would help, but I'm happy that it does. The rooms of the palace depicted on the map, they're the same ones that were portrayed in the virtual play. You take the map with you and head towards the entrance of the caverns, the entrance to the realm of Carcosa. Each investigator gains 1 clue from the token bank. Oh, sorry, I never... Oh, no, I don't have to spend my clues. I just get another clue. Great. Put all set-aside 2-sided locations into play. Cave side face up. All right. I think this is going to work. Heads up, place. Woo! Whoa, that was wild. Are they all caves? Yes. Wowzers. Oh, whoops.
Oh, joy. Spelunky time.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot the scenario reference card was there, so I just moved it. Okay. Cave side face up, yeah. So, yeah, these caves lead down beneath the surface into the subterranean caverns beneath Fragment. Okay, that's done. Let's read Act 2A, The Heir to Carcosa. You must find and confront Tassilda in this reality-defying asteroid before she is elevated by her father and spreads the madness of Carcosa throughout the colonies. Great, we just have to find her and confront her. Free trigger. If you are at a cave or Carcosa location, spend 2 clues as a group, flip your location and all connecting locations to their other side. Objective. Find the royal princess of Carcosa. You will be instructed when to advance. Find her. Hello, Written as Wrote. We are here, we are spooky peeps, and we are happy to be here. Welcome to Doomed. Yes, sorry, I'm joined today by the Crosshair, my apologies.
Crosshair.
My mistake! Alright, out of tea. That's fine. So that's it. We've managed to uncover the caverns beneath Fragment. Let's have a quick look here. There's the hidden passage, the Bottomless Pit, a classic. After you enter Bottomless Pit, move to any other non-surface location, take 3 direct damage, and lose all remaining actions. I'm gonna die. Of course, unless we flip a cave to its other side, and then it flips all the connecting locations as well, which would include, like, right? If we flip Hidden Passage, then it will also flip over Bottomless Pit.
Yeah.
So that's one possibility, because I'm currently going to die if I fall into the cavern.
You could also do that.
I could also just die. It's true. Okay, here we go. Let's see what else is on. I'm just looking at the other locations here. The Stalagmite Forest. At the end of your turn, if you're at this location, take a damage. The Ice Cavity. It gets -1 shroud for each connecting cave location. Currently 3 shroud. Down here is the Impassable Ravine, where the cultists disappeared. You cannot enter Impassable Ravine from connecting locations. Okay. So I guess, in theory, each cave has a Carcosa location on the other side, right? Theoretically. So if we're at... Right? If we can flip them all, then we can have different... We can move around different places. And then flip it back, and we'll be there, maybe. We'll see.
Or we could jump into the Bottomless Pit and end up there.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually very true. If you don't mind taking 3 direct damage, you probably don't actually.
Yeah, I'm fine.
What does it say here? It says free trigger. If there are no Carcosa locations in play, and each undefeated investigator is at this location, each.
Yeah.
Balls. Read the set aside Lost Expedition story card. Okay. And then the middle location.
I'm assuming it's a good thing.
I think so too. Story cards tend to be good. But the other possibility, like I'm thinking, is that we can also flip things, probably move in different directions, and then when we flip back, we'll be somewhere, you know? We just have to remember what it says.
Yeah.
The Cyclopean Caverns says you can cross out 2 memories as a group to choose any cave or Carcosa location and flip it. That's a one-time situation because we only have 2 memories left total.
So basically we need to get to the Impassable Ravine place and then flip it when we are both there.
Yes.
Get to the Impassable. Yeah.
And,
okay.
and currently, unfortunately, my only way to do that for me is to flip the Hidden Passage, which will flip the Bottomless Pit so I don't die going through it, basically.
Yeah, but we can also use the use 2 clues to flip any location. Like the that location and connecting location.
Right. No, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Well, anyway, let's have our upkeep here. Thank you. Oh, Written as well. Sorry, I didn't even see. Well, I saw you arrive, Written, but it's good to see you. We did pack some fresh underwear. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yes. Hello.
Let's.
Oh, hello.
Oh, classic. The cave brings out the chronophobia.
It's actually good because I got my key of is out.
Yes, very true. Bye, Sarah. Thanks so much for coming.
Bye-bye, Sarah.
That's actually very true. If you can time that discard, that'll be very nice.
Yeah, at least 2 turns I'll, like, grab some stuff on the key of this. Yeah.
All right. So we put 3 Doom out of Infinity on the agenda here. We don't know what we have to do, but we have to find the Princess of Carcosa, Tassilda. Broken Reality. Attach this card to the cave or Carcosa location with the fewest clues that doesn't have a copy already. Forced. After you flip it back to its original side and discard this card. And you can also spend an action and a clue to discard this card. So Broken Reality, of course, prevents you from seeing what's through. Of course. Of course.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so then... No, Axe, I think we both do. I just wonder if we're good at them. We're gonna see. I do like it, though.
Well, I did clear the school pretty easily. So.
That's true, that was a good time. Okay, so then... Okay, obviously...
Okay.
Yes.
So, if you go to the hidden passage and flip it with 2 clues, then Bottomless Pit will flip, but then it will flip back.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
That's the Broken Reality was Calvin's card. Ah, sure.
Oh. This is completely broken, so that would be...
Oh, okay, well, at least it gets rid of both of them, right?
Okay.
Isn't that good?
Fine.
I think it's good, I don't know.
Yeah, we just have to spend 2 clues to get rid of both of those. Okay. Cool.
So then in that case, how do you want to do this? Because we have 4 clues between us.
Now I have 1 action that I need to play. And I could... What's the... Yeah, it's a free action, the... Oh, yeah, cool. Then I have a pla.
Alright. It's good. It's a good enough start.
Start with well maintaining the key of his, because
of course it
it's
is.
been with me a while.
Oh boy.
And Carolyn notices a new cave opening up at the surface of the fragment. So,
Oh.
How interesting. And moves over there.
A crack in the slab hidden within the vast sculptures of the asteroid. The passage leads to a dark and complex system of caverns under the surface, which of course we could get into, but would be very dangerous to get into.
Yeah. So, Carolyn could at this point flip both of those by spending. I'll just, before we do that, Carolyn is gonna try and get the last clue from this place.
Sure.
And let's burn some midnight oil and do shroud. So let's throw a flashlight.
I
in
don't
there.
think you can do both at the same time, unfortunately. Just because the flashlight's in action, but so is the midnight oil.
Ah, true.
Like, yeah,
Well,
they do.
I've got 2 resources still.
Alright, yeah, take it.
It's a 2 on 4. Nope. 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 Then I take a horror and put it on key of ease.
Alright. Calvin is going to trudge down into the cavern.
I
Yes?
could, at the end of my turn, flip it.
Sure, yeah.
I spend... And I spend 1 of your clues and 1 of my clues. And then This remains, right? When we flip it.
So, well, it's not going to flip, right?
It's gonna flip, but then we flip it back.
Yes, immediately. That's true. Yes, so we always fill
So-
the clues up to the top when it flips to a new side.
Yeah, but we get to see what's on the other side.
And that is a good point, actually.
So... Okay. You cannot resign when Palace Gates is in play.
And then
Go.
Similarly, yeah, what does Bottomless Pit become, right? Spiral Staircase.
Okay. When the spiral staircase flips. Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't let you stand on it and flip back to the cave.
Yeah. But when you flip the staircase, you move away from it.
Right, so you don't end up in the cavern that kills you. Which is nice.
No.
All right.
And then we discard these.
So I think Carolyn, we get a brief glimpse into what might lie beyond the caverns, but it's just a mirage. It shimmers and vanishes.
Yeah.
Or does it?
Nothing is real in this cave.
Axe makes a good point. Sorry, I know you created this. You can add clues. You can. I think you must, in fact, add clues on the Carcosa side, and then when they flip back, they keep that number of clues on them. Right? So that's, here, yeah, I'm going to start getting little pairs here copy-pasted for us.
Basically, that place gets 2, and that place gets 2.
It's kind of fun. It's very fun. Thank you, Axe. I wouldn't have even thought of that in this situation.
Let's just leave them next to the location.
Yeah, I have a feeling on is going to be a bit... Oh, okay. Thanks, Written. I appreciate your parents staying safe. I will, definitely. Okie dokie. So... Oh, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going
The
to...
office is maintained, and Carolyn didn't get a clue, but flipped everything and saw what she killed. Oh yeah, that's another clue there.
It's going to be a lot of clues going on, but that's okay, because we probably need them for, well, flipping, really. If you're at a cave, spend clues as a group to flip your location. Okay. Well, I'm going to get in there and do the same. If it doesn't bother you.
Cool.
So Calvin moves down through another hidden passage and kind of sees below them this yawning maw, this bottomless pit opening up beneath him, and he's like, oh, okay, maybe it's just a question of will. Maybe it's just a question of finding those, or finding those very specific weak points. He's going to start...
True. So there's not 4 clues, but there's 2 clues, because the Carcosa side filled up to 2 clues.
Oh, okay.
When you flip it, it goes up to 2 clues, then you flip it back, and then it's 2
Yes,
clues.
where is it
there,
here? It's
so.
in flipping. That's what I wanted to read here.
Axe said it in chat.
Yes, add clues up to its clue value, but not beyond its clue value.
Yeah.
So Written... sorry. I'll let Axe also write out an answer to this, but I'll just say, I think Axe may have played this many times.
A couple of times.
We are fortunate, #blessed enough to have the writer and creator, what do you prefer the term creator, of this campaign, this fan campaign, in the chat with us today. So exciting. Okie doke. Anyway, sorry, yes, so Calvin's gonna come in. I'm ready to flip stuff over and then try to get some more clues. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna spend 2 more clues. Boop, and flip us over. So that's hidden passage and spiral staircase.
Okay.
Which become the palace gates, the beautiful and decorated entrance to the palace of our royal family. And of course the spiral staircase, which seems to go on forever. You can't resign while Palace Gates is in play, so we'll have to flip it back if we want to get out of here, which I imagine we will at some point. Now that they're flipped, I could move on so that I get bumped further in. Or, you know what? We need clues. I'm just going to start collecting more clues because I can. 4 Shroud. I'm sorry, 2 Shroud, 4 Intellect. So I'm just going to investigate. Good. Calvin, of course, is looking around for any sort of information that he can gather about, like, what are the gates of this place. I've never been to Carcosa. What is this? That second one was a fail, unfortunately. But I get 1 clue. So still no enemies, which is great. So we're going to return to Upkeep.
Just had to say it.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true, right?
Still true.
Still true.
Oh. That's good.
Okay. It's good to hear.
I should probably start next turn just saying.
Saying.
Yeah. Just saying that I could start next turn.
Oh, okay. Oh, that would be nice, actually, if you could. Yeah. Because we are looking for the Royal Princess of Carcosa. Presumably there's some, like, other locations under here that are going to be useful, and then maybe some of them will have to be flipped and some of them won't. And anyway, lots of clues. That's the key.
Yeah, and first reveal everything which can be done in the Cyclopean caverns.
Yes, which will flip the staircase back to its cave side, right? So we need to make sure that we're within, before we can do that, but that'll be fine. Yeah, okay, so Mythos, then I placed another Doom on the agenda, and I'm going to draw some encounter cards. This is Song of Your Soul. Put it into play in your threat area. Okay, the Song of My Soul, not so bad. At the end of the round, for each event in your hand, either discard it or take a horror, and then discard Song of Your Soul. So, naturally, there's a tune that kind of is moving through the caverns, and Calvin's just kind of checking in with Carolyn, but I don't think she can hear it. It's coming somehow from within and without himself. And it is eerie.
Yeah, and Carolyn has this singing mirror around her neck anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's true, right?
Well, now she can.
There you go. I could... Well, it depends on how disastrous it would be for you. I can handle that, if you would like.
Each event in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what were events?
Top left under the cost, it'll say either asset, event, or skill.
Yeah, actually, if you could, that would be nice.
I can, yeah. Kelvin's like, don't worry, Doc, let me handle this. So the +2 skills doesn't obviously do anything right now, but it does let me consider to have drawn it, so I will double down on the singing of the songs. It's also an event.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
But yeah, you get to spend that one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've got two songs, and we're back around to us. What do you want to do?
Well, since we are at the palace gates, I know that we are standing together.
Yay! Draw 2, gain 2? Thank you.
Gain 2.
Oh, well, I knew that was going to happen. This is obviously, of course, Calvin's voice of the messenger. Has decided to strike him in this moment. Standing together, he, remembers what it was like to stand with his love, and it gets him. I'll take a mental trauma. And hope I don't take another one at the end of this scenario. Haha!
Do you want to heal?
I wouldn't mind. We do have to, keep making progress in the scenario and keep moving, but I see that you have a handful of cards, so if you want to play one.
Yeah. Because I have a couple of choices here, but
I'm in a pretty comfortable place. Like, I have a lot of soak, and I just have a bit of space in terms of damage and horror, but I would heal if you had. Yeah.
I think the idea was to get to these Cyclopean caverns anyway and flip everything.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. So you're right, maybe let's get down there.
Yeah, that works for me. Actually, I would like to spend 1 card still.
Okay, I mean, yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, before we go any further, let's throw some painkillers in there as well. As she is used to. Yoink! Popping a couple of painkillers and entering the palace.
It's obviously a great place to pop some meds. Presumably, Carolyn treats them like little candies or some way of making sure that she's not going mad herself.
Yeah. And Keophis takes another horror.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I like where this is going.
Chromophobia.
I'm going to try to get the last clue at this location before moving down so that we have 2.
Yep.
Because I'm now investigating at 5-2, so the gates... Calvin's like, well, they are impressive, but then he's going to study them a bit more closely. Maybe they offer some information into the layout of the palace. 5-2. That's good. That's good for a clue, so I'll take it. And then I will travel past Carolyn on the staircase and down to the Cyclopean Caverns. Now, of course, I can do this now as a free trigger.
Yeah, that means that because these flips, I move to the Cyclopean Caverns.
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So let's do it. Standing in the massive caverns underneath, Calvin's like kind of, he's looking around and he starts to spot those places where reality becomes thin. Let's do it. Let's start flipping. So it's everything connected to it, right? So that goes back.
That goes back. But yeah, that's the clue, so we only have to flip them once.
Boop. All right. Let's see what we've got here in the palace. The Labyrinths of Tazilok. At the end of your turn, if you're at this location, take a horror. I absolutely get where you're going with this scenario, and I love it. If this location...
I hate you.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Actually, you know what? Famously, I've played a few games on the... well, not on this stream, but on other streams. I've played a few games that have those flippy card puzzles, and I am notoriously terrible at them. So thankfully, there's fewer locations this time, at least. So there's that. My God. All right. Woof. Okay. If this is the only Carcosa location in play, read the set aside for you alone story card. Grand Ballroom says the same thing, basically. If it's the only Carcosa in play.
Read a different set aside.
A different set aside card. The Gardens of Thoth again says it's the only Carcosa location in play. Read the set aside Delights story card. And down here at the bottom, the Yellow Throne, where Tisilda reigns. Ah, okay, so this has the same as the other side. If there are 6 Carcosa locations in play, and each undefeated investigator is at this location, read the set-aside Lost Expedition story card, max once per game. It also has victory 1.
Why do I have a feeling that the Lost Expedition will find us the princess?
I mean, I hope so. That would be great. Now, here's my question, though. How the hell... And this is I know this is how, like, the game works in terms of flipping things around. But now that we've got 5 on one side and 1 on the other, how the hell do we get to 6?
By using the... flipping this place over, then flipping the cave once, and
with
then
memories.
Flipping this... Yeah, then flipping this place over, because this place has the... So first we need to flip this one, to get to the one where we can flip the cave alone.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
that action doesn't flip anything else.
Right, and then backwards
Flip.
again. So
Yeah, then we can flip this place over again to get
so four
everything on the same side.
right. So 4 clues basically is what we're looking for that, and then that's one thing.
Maybe.
I guess we go from there.
I think so.
All right. Well,
Yeah, because the acting says flip this location and all locations.
yes. Yes, correct.
And we need to get the bottomless pit on the other side to get everything on the same side. Yeah, okay.
Which, like, I there's going to be ways as well of doing it where you start on the, like if I want to get labyrinths as the only Carcosa location, we start on the right-hand side and we kind of work around and we try to figure it out from there. But
Yeah, I think the cave thing is first, so everything is on the same side.
that sounds like a good plan. Let's do that. But we'll move to upkeep first because I think that's all we've done. That's
Right.
somehow the only thing we did this round. And I upkeep, and then I lose all events in my hand. Sorry, for each event in my hand, either discard it or take a horror, apparently, then discard Song of Your Soul. I have none, so I'm just going to discard both Songs of Soul. Boom. For each is 0. So we'll take it.
Cool. Cool.
And we'll move around again back to the Mythos phase. Standing in the grand ballroom in the Palace of Carcosa, the puzzle is starting to unfold itself, and they are hoping that by venturing back and forth between the 2 times and places, they can maybe line up timelines as well. I'm going to draw my encounter card here. Tattered Curtains. This is an obstacle that spawns at the nearest Carcosa location, that's here. After you flip the location, move it a location towards you. The scalloped tatters of the King in Yellow must hide Ithil forever. Yeah, does it damage and horror? Doesn't attack during the enemy phase, but obviously if you try to get clues and stuff, it will.
Yeah. So there's your goal.
No problem. I'll start handling it.
Okay. What else do we have? Oh, that's cool. Let's see if it has search. Yeah, it does. It has a search. Okay. Cool. Cool. I'm gonna run out of hand space.
Yeah.
And Haster's domain is back.
Okay. So after
Definitely.
after you flip any number of locations, take a horror. So we'll want to get rid of that, but I've got these. I've got these. Oh my God, these curtains! They're coming to choke me. Got that to deal with as well.
Yeah. Okay.
What are we thinking?
Well, I can't really do anything before you deal with the curtains, I think.
I mean, you could move, but I understand that you want to stay so that we can start working on getting the clues here and flipping this, like starting the plan to flip things over.
Yeah, so if you could just destroy the curtains first.
Of course. I'll chop them up for us. So obviously Calvin is seeing this strange shambling creature, but then it's not really a creature, it's just the drapings on the walls themselves in the palace seem to be moving towards them forever. Hiding things. Yeah, so I'm gonna chop it up. It also doesn't attack during the enemy phase, so in fact, actually, Crosshair, it doesn't do anything to you, because you don't take attacks of opportunity from it.
Oh.
Right, like this one doesn't have massive for whatever reason.
Oh, okay, cool.
I am gonna start, because I'll start by chopping, but
yeah.
Okay.
And I can kill it also because I have fight now.
That's true. We will start by going in on it with the axe. Let's do it. So I'm going to spend 3 from the axe and then 5 from Scrapper to go to 0. It's a lot. I think I'm at 16 combat. Is that right? 11 plus 5? Yeah. So Calvin's got the perfect tool for the job, and just, like, you know, it doesn't matter if he's sort of... They're hoping to confront Tassilda anyway. Maybe if he starts destroying the palace, perhaps it'll make himself known. That's still a pass, so 2 damage. And then, again, I now have 5 combat, so I'll throw in this axe to be 6 to 4. That's not a pass. Let's go again. 5 to 4. It's a skull, -2, but I'm not at a cave location, so it's okay. So I don't pass, but that's okay. The curtains are just like I'm just... He's struggling with them as they seem to writhe and twist away from his blade. Oh, it's Haster's domain. That's the reason we can't flip things yet. Right. We also don't have any clues.
Oh yeah, that we shouldn't flip, because if we flip now, it means 5 flipping and 5 horror. Oh, any number. Okay, cool.
So at least...
I should probably get rid of Hastur again.
Why don't you do... You do everything you need to do to progress the scenario. I'm here to help when I got this curtain off my back.
Because I do need to get rid of chronophobia soon-ish. Yeah. Okay, let's try and get rid of Hastur. Do I need that? No, let's throw kerosene on it.
Throw kerosene on the domain. Burn it all down.
Let's throw... maybe not that. Ah, that'll do. So it's a 6 on 3. Yep. No, once again,
no
Carolyn,
respect for the king in yellow. Absolutely none.
Piss off. And then I guess I'll just get rid of chronophobia.
Okay.
That's it.
During the enemy phase, the curtains do not attack, but they are here. Ooh. As we move to upkeep. Draw our cards, ready our things.
I need to get rid of something.
Stayed. Too bad. Too bad, so sad. So we get a 6 out of Infinite Doom, which I'm sure is going to come back to haunt us at some point. Let me draw an encounter card. Irresistible Truths. It speaks to you. I love this art. This is great art as well. Test Intellect 3. If you are at a Carcosa location, you must commit all eligible skill cards to this test. If you fail, take a horror. Well, I will commit all eligible skill cards to this test. That's annoying. Oh, I'm sorry. I must commit all of them. I have 2 copies, and it doesn't say 1 per. That's vaguely annoying. The truth of the matter is that Calvin can rise to the occasion. Like, he's the definition of cool under pressure. So I've wasted those skill cards. That's okay. I've given myself a +6, so I'm 11 to 3. That's yep.
That's a pass.
That's a pass. I'll take it.
The Carcosa dimension is also unstable. Well, makes sense because this game Carcosa and
That's
then
it.
not, and then again.
A little bit of both happening there. Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Cool. Well, I'm gonna get rid of it anyway.
Oh, shoot. I was going to say... Oh, darn. I was going to say, go to the pit, let it trigger, and flip it that way, but you can't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. That's too bad.
But... Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay. Should we have a small water break?
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break for some water. I'm just saving. Team will be back in a flash, and we'll see what we can do about finding the Princess of Carcosa. Back in a moment. Hello, once again, and welcome back to Doomed. Not so solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game, with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. I am joined today, as I often am, by the Crosshair.
Hello.
Hello. Axe here has very generously offered some logic puzzle hints. The current plan, Axe, is to attempt to flip Grand Ballroom over, use the ability on the other side to spend our memories to flip Bottomless Pit, which will then be a Carcosa location back. They'll all be on the same side, so that when we flip Grand Ballroom again, everything will be Carcosa. That's the plan, so that we can get to Lost Expedition.
Yeah, I think that the other locations will give us victory points at least. And I'm thinking that the Yellow Throne will advance this, so...
Yeah, I mean, we still don't really know, right, what to expect. Potentially we have to find all 4 story assets. We don't know.
Yeah. I do want to thank Axe for these, or the creator of Carcosa for these hidden cards, because they're filling up my hand.
We of course can't see them, but I'm sure you know what they are. Well, you know what they are, but I mean also I'm sure Axe knows what they are as well. It's back around to us. We had our mythos phase. Do you have a plan to deal with stuff in your, deal with stuff and get more clues and whatever?
I think I should get rid of the unstable dimension and then get clues.
Absolutely. Yep, that's the plan. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's that. So, because the curtains can't hurt me.
No, they can't. You're right.
Okay, so spend 2 resources. The dimension is stable again. Then spend 1 from the flashlight. So it's a 2 on 6. That's done, and another from the flashlight. Nope.
Okay. You get a clue.
2 on 6. Yeah. I get a clue. Okay.
At the same time, Calvin is still here tangling with this strange... I don't know, it's not even really an enemy. He was expecting maybe some of the cultists or guards or something in this palace, but it seems to be completely empty. I'm going to strike it with the axe here. I'm going to go in at 7 to 4. That is 2 more damage, which destroys these curtains forever.
Yeah, while Carolyn is investigating the grand ballroom and looking at all the things, Calvin is just passing away at the curtains with his axe.
I mean, sounds about right. He thinks they're out to get him. Whether or not they are is a real question here.
Yeah, Carolyn has some feelings about that delusion.
I feel more confident getting clues at the Yellow Throne, so I'm thinking I might move there and start getting clues there. Let's see, why not? Setting off down the hall. Of course, the Yellow Throne, the place where the King in Yellow sits, in theory. It has 2 shroud and 2 clues, so I'm going to investigate 5 to 2. That is a clue, and we'll take 1. Boop.
Should we flip the grand ballroom and...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know that underneath the Yellow Throne is the it's the cave location that you can't get into otherwise.
Yeah, nothing happens, but we'll flip it back over again.
Although actually, hang on, no, Crosshair. Sorry, that's we can, like, when we flip it, we can look at it again, but I'm pretty sure it says read the set aside Lost Expedition story card. Like, maybe we can shortcut this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if I come to you and then we... Yeah, because we can flip... Oh, no, we have to do it at the location.
Yeah, but we're both at either... do you know what I mean? Like, we're both at either location. What would you want to do?
Yeah, but the other side of the yellow throne says that we both have to be there.
Ah, that's what I was trying to remember. Right. Okay. So we won't flip yet. That's fine.
Yeah.
Move into upkeep here. Draw a card and gain a resource.
And I'll discard something again.
Or start tossing some of them cards in.
Emergency aid.
Okay. You go to 7 Doom and draw encounter cards. Ooh, the Yellow Mists. This is an aloof hunter. Yellow Mist's location gains the Carcosa trait. That's interesting. But it's an aloof hunter, so it doesn't actually do anything. Although it does have a victory point. Sounding throughout the mists is a distant, familiar melody. Casilda's song.
And 6 health.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, that is a lot, isn't it? Myrrh. Okay.
But it's also a victory, so...
I might, honestly, yeah, I might grab it, evade it, start attacking the mists? I don't know. It's got a lot of health, because it's mist.
And... reality is broken.
Oh, now this is unfortunate. Maybe it's not, actually.
Eivor Carcosa location with the first clues without a copy of broken reality.
Damn,
After you flip it back. Oh crap. So that means we have to do the cave thing twice. Oh, it doesn't have fewest.
That's...
So it's either the yellow throne or the palace gates. If we put it to the yellow throne...
That's going to be a big problem for us. Right, because we need to flip
everything. No, it's not, actually.
So when you flip the middle location, mine won't flip over. So then we'll have a Carcosa...
And I...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, then I can go to the...
Oh, and flip from there.
We still need to flip Bottomless Pit, but then we can flip the Bottomless Pit and flip everything else.
Yeah, so you'll go up to the spiral staircase and go from there. That's fine. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, so... Okay.
Right, well, my reality is now broken. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Well, there's a mist there, so...
Oh, sure. Yeah, a classic. Makes sense. All right.
So first, as a free action, should we just flip everything?
Yes, I... Oh, is there anything in play that would stop us from doing so? No. Nope, so that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I say go for it, yeah. We'll spend our clues.
Yeah. Spend the clues.
Broken reality discards. Well, sorry, technically it goes here, gets a clue, and then goes back. There also can't be any Carcosa locations in play. Okay, fine. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good plan. Well, it's a plan.
Okay, so now we got everything except the yellow throne. Now I need to...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just need to We see the problem now. So we could retroactively have put the broken reality up at the palace gates as well, right? That's the other place for it.
Yeah, I'm just... No hints yet. It just means that we need to flip the yellow throne over also. And then flip from there. Yeah. So basically we need 2 clues to flip the yellow throne with the Cyclopean Caverns. Then you flip the yellow throne once I'm there. Yeah. That'll do it.
Sorry, you'll have to tell me that plan again.
So first off, because these 2 are Carcosa locations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I get 2 clues from the Cyclopean Caverns and flip your location.
Yeah, it's actually 2 memories that you have to spend, not even clues.
Oh, so I can do it now.
Yeah, if you want to. We should make sure we only do it when we're ready, though, right? Because we might get a treachery that messes stuff up as well.
Yeah, so...
Because we only have 2 memories total. We don't have any left.
I spent the 2 memories, flip your location.
Okay.
So that all the bottom ones are cave locations.
Right, and then I have to spend...
2 clues to flip that location to get everything into Carcosa locations.
Great, so let's build up our clues, and then once we're ready to do that, we can activate that all as a free trigger, right?
Yeah. So, no flipping.
No flipping. Sounds good.
Currently no flipping, yeah. Cool. So, I guess I'll start getting clues then.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
First off, flashlight, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's see if I can get some... 6 on 2. Yep. That's 1.
Okay.
Now I really want to get rid of some cards also. You know what this needs?
What does this need?
Just somewhere in the cave. Just a 45 Thompson laying
Yikes.
around.
That's a big old gun. All right, just in case, right? Just in case.
Yeah, just some good old-fashioned Thompson therapy. And should I? I'll try and get a clue. It's just a 4 on 4, but
6,
might as
6. I
well.
think you have because of Key of East.
Oh yeah, 6 to 4. Yeah.
It's better.
Oh well.
So then in that case, I'm not too worried right now about Casilda's song coming out of the mists. Calvin's wary of them. He's making sure that they don't try to attack him at this exact moment in time, but I'm going to just try to find information here from the Yellow Throne. Let's get some clues. I'm 5 to 2, so I'm going to investigate. That is -2. And then it's only if you fail, so I'll just take the clue. It's fine.
Yep.
Now, investigate again. That's also a clue. Boop. I think we're now in a position to do that if you want.
But I need to... Hold on.
You would, yes, you would need to get
this
here.
location. So yeah, I'll spend 2 memories to flip your location. Go.
So you can't get here now.
No, but you do get 2 clues there.
That's true. Thank you.
And then you spend 2 clues
immediately
to flip that location.
And everything connected to it. Correct. Whoops. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I can't activate this free trigger on the yellow throne yet, because we each have to be here. I can't forcibly move you, so we're going to hope that nothing else bad happens, which I'm sure it will. And then what is Kelvin going to do in the meantime? He's just going to take a resource. Last action. There you go. Boom. He's preparing for the onslaught of... He's like been testing the various bounds of reality here in this room for so long. He's like... I think he's kind of almost figured it out.
Oh, luckily I had those 2 memories.
Yeah. Well, exactly, right? Maybe we were supposed to have more. Upkeep. Oh, that's nice.
It's actually good. If I had the resources to do it. Oh, once more into the fray.
8 Doom. We draw encounter cards. Down here in the throne room. Chosen by him. Attach this to an item, a spell, or an ally that you control that can leave play. Forced. At the end of your turn, take 2 direct damage and shuffle the asset back into your deck. Or remove attached asset from the game. Which obviously will then get rid of this hex as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's going right on this coat. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
The king has chosen Calvin's spacesuit to be ripped out of its, place.
Basically out of existence.
Out of existence, yeah.
Cave collapse.
Hey, you remember this one?
Each investigator at a cave location must test, well, somewhere in a different reality, the cave is collapsing.
But we're okay for now.
Yep.
So,
nothing to see.
as we move back to the investigation phase, Calvin shouts down the hall like, "Carolyn, I think I found something." I think he's seemingly discovered how to interact with the material here in the yellow throne room.
Oh. Might as well hop to it.
Because then we need to start probably working on the rest, right? Read the set-aside Lost Expedition story card once per game. Lost Expedition. Oh. If this is the first time you read this, eventually you come across the bodies of several cultists, the missing survey team. They have abandoned their helmets and died from sudden fatal decompression. Oh god, don't take my spacesuit! When you scan their notes, your worst fears are confirmed. Tisilda no longer exists in this dimension, but has elevated into godhood, and now resides along with her father between the fabric of space-time, within the core of all stars. And yet there is a greater complication, for the survey team's notes also unmask the true nature of the King in Yellow. Our destruction gives it form, our violence gives it name, our screams give it a voice. It is no more of a deity than gravity is, no matter how many people worship and ascribe it a personality and an intelligence. It is the thermodynamic concept of entropy itself that you face. Yikes. The gradual and inevitable decline of any system into absolute chaos. And by all understanding of physics, there is no stopping it. Regardless if this is the first time you read this, advance the current act and set this card aside out of play.
Okay.
Act 2B, the end. Uh-oh. You will... Uh-oh. Actually, this might be... I might have messed this up. Well, we'll see. You will never know if Tisilda was real, but what you've learned from these cultists is that the arcane ritual that supposedly released her has also accelerated the increasing entropy of the universe. In fact, K2PS 187 announced that with the new constants in play, the sun itself will implode in just a few more years, annihilating everything within a few light years. You search the cultists for any methods to reverse this action, but find no solutions to the impossible puzzle. The only hope left is to try to survive the supernova and save as many as you can. As you contemplate your next steps, the entire asteroid begins trembling, and an inhuman roar echoes through the halls and caverns behind you. Advance to Agenda 2A and Act 3A. Do not remove Doom. Move all Doom from Agenda 1 to Agenda 2. Fine. Spawn the set-aside... yeah.
cave dweller.
The cave dweller enemy at the lander. The cave dweller is looks like a land shark. The cave dweller is suspiciously familiar. It has 4 combat, 8 health, and 6 agility. Yikes. It's a massive retaliating hunter. Forced when cave dweller's location is flipped, exhausted. A perversion of what used to be a human.
We can handle it.
Yeah, it deals 3 damage. That's a lot of damage.
We can handle it.
I might have to. Right, so let's have a look at our new agendas here. Agenda 2A, shall dry and die. Your landing must have disturbed the pocket reality hidden within Fragment. The entire asteroid is beginning to collapse, and soon you will be trapped within. Get out of here while you still can. Surface of Fragment gains action resign. However, if we recall, Palace Gates says you can't resign while Palace Gates is in play, so we have to deal with that. The Unspeakable Truth, Act 3A. You won't be able to warn anyone of the impending doom if you don't get out of this one alive. You must escape this asteroid as soon as you can. So we still have the same action. If you're at a cave or a Carcosa location, spend 2 clues as a group. Flip it, and all connecting locations. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance.
Yeah, so basically we have an out by flipping the gates.
Yeah, I think we'll either want to flip the gates or the spiral staircase, which will flip the gates. Like either or.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I'm just thinking how to get to the other story assets also.
Yeah, by I mean, it's kind of annoying that Yellow Throne is... Well, yeah, by flipping the spiral staircase, we get caves in the top half. Then you flip, like, this left-hand cave over, say.
Yeah.
Then we have Carcosas down the middle. Then you go to the right-hand side, because it's a cave, and flip it. No, then it becomes a Carcosa side. Ooh,
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's doable. But it'll take a lot of clues to get to those. But
This is kind of the problem. I should have mentioned there's a 19 Doom threshold on Agenda 2A.
yeah, so we are in no rush. Yes, but
That was our first action. We read the thing and advanced everything, and now we're here. So it's still your turn. The Yellow Mist is here. It's an aloof hunter. The cave dweller's coming for us.
yep, we can basically deal with it because we have a lot of firepower.
Well, some anyway.
Yeah, well, I have a Thompson.
Yeah, I mean 8 health is 8 health, right? Like it's a lot, but yeah, it's a good place to start.
6 attack and 2 damage per attack. So it's doable. Okay then.
Yeah, Carolyn, what's the plan? What you thinking?
Do you need cards or healing? Well, not cards, apparently. Or healing.
No, I don't think I really want healing either, yeah, because I want to stay as high damage-wise as I can.
Okay.
Right, so I can fight. So I can fight.
We're gonna need clues.
Yep.
I also want to play a card, which means that I need to take 1 turn to get a resource or play it next turn.
Yeah, take your time. You can also, if you don't want to play those cards, you can commit them to tests and stuff. Well, I mean, sorry, I know you know.
Yeah, but it's a rather usable card also.
Hello, Gunner. Welcome to Doomed. I'm joined today by the Crosshair.
Hello.
We are indeed streaming early today, if you will. The plan is to try to, well, we'll see where we get to with this scenario. The plan is to wrap up in the early evening, just in time for a movie night over on the RPG Clinic Discord. You can head over there. If you're not already on the RPG Clinic Discord, head on over and check out the movie night channel. You'll see what we're watching tonight. I'm very excited.
I need to think about the flipping things, so I'm just gonna distraction. Let's try and get some clues because it's 2 on 6 clue hunting.
Yeah, we need a bunch anyway, right?
That's 1. That's 2.
Yay!
2. Take those.
Yeah, we need as many as we can, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go in a think tank and you can... Carolyn's just investigating the yellow throne and... Isn't Casilda supposed to be here?
Calvin, I think yeah, so this is a relatively simple turn. He's still got, of course, the memories of his of being on the brink there, his curse, and he's got this strange feeling that he should in fact remove his spacesuit. That can't be a good idea. This is how people died, and yet he's being called somehow to do so. I am going to remove attached asset from the game. As Calvin goes to remove his spacesuit, he's like, no, wait, what? I'm going to play out the other leather coat here. The call of the void, exactly. He realizes, no, of course, like, he manages to pull himself back from the horrible moment that he almost had. As we move into the enemy phase. The Yellow Mists is still here, but it's... hopefully I'll be able to deal with that soon. And the Cave Dweller, suspiciously familiar, hunts down into the palace gates.
Cool. That's actually good.
Upkeep. Ooh.
And Liquid Courage goes away.
Okay. As we move to 9 out of now 19 Doom. We draw encounter cards. Both here still in the yellow throne room with the mists, but this thumping, pounding sound coming down the stairs? Question mark? Behind us. Scene shifting. Surge. You must either place a Doom on the current agenda, or move each enemy a location towards you. Each enemy at your location attacks you. I would be taking a damage and a horror. I'm gonna do that.
And the hunter hunts.
And the hunter is going to move a location closer as well. But that's... We want to try to get it, like, started, right?
Yep. That's fine.
I'll take a damage and a horror, and I will put them both on me? Is that crazy? That's a little crazy. Yeah, because I can't take direct damage yet, so I'll do that instead.
Okay.
Yep, it's all you.
Let's see
sure.
what else. Well, of course.
Oh, shoot, mine had Surge as well. Sorry. I didn't even notice. Sorry, I read it. So that's technically mine.
One Doom ain't bad.
It's not that bad, is it? Yeah, you're right. Let's do it. Place a Doom on the agenda. As it surges into... Oh, it's Irresistible Truths again. You must commit all eligible skill cards if you're at a Carcosa location. If you fail, take 2 horror. I do not have any valid ones, so I will just... Calvin will try to resist the irresistible truths of the universe and stick with the here and now, which is destroying monsters. 5 to 3. Big, 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 big fail. And take 2 horror. 1 on the keepsake, which kills it, and 1 on me. Yeesh.
Oh yeah, you have 7
Just now. Just now, though.
pentacles. Yeah. If pentacles leaves your... Oh.
Yeah, I'm dead for
Yes.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now I get to see what happens. Well, it's the tattered curtains. It goes here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It spawns here. I mean, I don't actually know because you drew it. It doesn't engage you necessarily, I guess, because it's here. So I can take it if you would prefer.
Yeah, or does it... It's not an enemy, so does it actually engage?
I mean, it is. It doesn't say like enemy on it, but it has stats
yeah.
and stuff. Oh, it does. It does say enemy on it.
So, yeah,
All right.
it basically engages me. Some shuffling of tattered curtains just spooks Carolyn. So technically I should avoid it, but it doesn't attack me if I move.
It does. I think it does. Yeah, because it's engaged with you. It doesn't attack during the enemy phase, but it does attack if you do anything other than fight, evade, resign, or parlay.
True.
Because it still attacks with opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna try and evade it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any? Not gonna use that one. Not gonna use that one. Okay, cool. So it's gonna be 4 on 2. Nope.
Yeah, you have. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, 4. Yeah.
Let's try that again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. So the tattered curtains are now exhausted.
Mm-hmm. You managed to duck away from them. Yeah, okay.
And let's see. Carolyn is just gonna be like, okay, Calvin, you can handle this. Bye.
Oh, you are gonna get smashed up next turn. That's definitely.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm gonna spend 2 clues and flip everything.
All right, let's do it. Mm. Wee. Wee. Which? What does it say?
Exhaust.
Okay. And then everything fills back up to its
Yeah, which is
maximum.
2. No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It has 4. Yeah,
Mm.
true. Okay. Yep,
All right.
that was me.
I'm going to take a resource so that I can play the virtual access key. Finally! The key to the Gate of Dreams! It's the silver key that we needed so badly earlier. It doesn't have horror soak, but it says when you would take horror, exhaust it to cancel one. So that's pretty good at this exact moment in time.
Yep.
And then the question is, I will move. Yeah, I'm going to move to join you in the caverns. We don't need to. Did you need me there?
No, I don't think so.
I guess we'll find out what we need to do.
Oh yeah, now I get it. If I go to the... If we, or, go to the stalagmite forest and flip That means that all of these are Carcosa. Then someone has to go to the other side and flip those. Then the stalagmite forest would be on the other side and the only Carcosa, but we first need to...
The gates. Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we can't, like... I mean, the pit basically means that you can go through it to get up to the... Oh. A non-surface location, so you can't even go up to the gates through it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Palace Gates was a flippable. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we need to flip everything again.
For...
Then get to the bottomless pit,
Mm-hmm.
which is the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
Then flip that to get the Palace Gates around.
Yes, and then start working again from there, right? I think it's what we have to do. Annoying, but fair play.
Yeah.
In the enemy phase, the mists hunt in. They're aloof, but we're now at a Carcosa location, even though it's a cave. Because, you know, that's how the mists go.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah. That screws over the... Also, because the... Oh! Yeah.
Like, ideally we'd kill it, but I'm more focused on the huge thing right now.
Yep. Yeah.
So that was the enemy phase, and then upkeep, yeah, we readied the enemies, and we draw cards and gain resources.
Liquid courage goes away again.
So we go to 11 out of 19 Doom. Draw our encounter cards. Ah, of course. Calvin is still chosen by him. Attached to an item, spell, or ally that you control. Okay. Item, spell, or ally. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I guess I'm gonna, yeesh. I guess Erwin's gonna be, chosen.
Oh yeah, you haven't used Erwin's ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was maybe a bit silly to not, but I figured I might lose him at some point in the scenario, so.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have. It's a cave collapse, and this time...
It's personal.
We're actually in a Carcosa location.
Yes, we are. You're very correct. Yep, look at that. There you go. So, in fact, the mist protects us from the cave collapse.
Okay. So, basically, we need a hell of a lot of clues.
Hella clues. Correct.
Also, I need some kind of healing to actually fight that thing. Well, I do have painkillers.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
A reminder: the cave dweller is a massive hunter. So when it hunts, it doesn't. You're engaged with it, but it doesn't engage a specific person. It's just kind of everyone, so it hits everybody. So we can't even really necessarily get away from it in that sense.
So, if you're here when it hits, you're gonna die if it hunts here.
No, I have soak on the coat. Like, not a lot, you know, not forever.
Because after it hunts here, then we can use a turn to kill it.
Yeah. In theory.
So we could basically prepare for that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to, right?
Yeah, otherwise it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So, fine. Last word time.
Yay!
Get the spacesuit out. You still don't need healing.
Horror healing, maybe?
Well,
But, yeah. Doesn't do horror, so hopefully I don't take any more.
yeah, okay. Let's do horror healing.
Thank you. For me?
Uh,
Oh, one each.
unless... Actually, let's do 3 so I can go to 0.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. So 2 for you, 1 for me, and I draw a card.
Delicious, Written. I hope you had a good dinner. Welcome back. We're just trying to escape the caves / Carcosa with a big old baddie coming down on us.
Also,
sorry. Yes, sorry.
you get a resource.
I took one, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and I get a resource also.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, and then you need cards.
Not. No, I don't think so.
Oh, I'm gonna do it then.
Oh yeah. Oh please, yeah.
2 chaos tokens, and I'm gonna draw 3 cards.
All right.
So
The curse one is just there if you want to. Yeah. Simple but tasty.
1, 2. Oh, there we go. Just a bit psychotic after reading the deep knowledge of the Cyclopean caverns.
Of course. Well, learning that what we're facing off against is not a god, but in fact it is just the god, which is the personification of entropy. Not yet written, but we are sure getting there. That's for sure.
That's me.
Okay. The first thing, of course, I'm going to choose to... I'm going to choose to remove Erwin from the game. Chosen by him. Oh, no, I understand written. I understand what you meant. But not yet. Not yet. Remove attached asset from the game. Yeesh. That is going to get real tight real fast. I think I'm going to play cornered, because I sometimes feel pretty cornered. The pounding sound of footsteps from somehow through the bottomless pit / staircase. Calvin is preparing for the worst. He's ready for this monster, whatever it is, to come in, and he's feeling rather cornered down here. I'm going to take a resource as well as my last action, because what else am I going to do? Try to get a clue? Oh yeah, I'm going to... No, I'm just going to take a resource.
Oh, did the tattered curtains actually move when I flipped things? Yeah.
Towards you. Sorry, yes, it's because I was at that location, so I thought it would just stay with me.
Oh yeah, true, because it was exhausted, but after you flip tattered curtains location, move it 1 location towards you.
So then it should have come towards you then, yeah.
Yeah. Which means that all the actions I did, it's gonna be a lot of retcon.
Yeah, well, and me as well, right? Like, it could have it just engages someone. It doesn't engage... Oh, no, except you were... No, we were both there. I'm pretty sure. So it could engage me instead.
Yeah, that would be the only...
Yeah, let's do that. Whoop. Put this back. Put those back. We'll say that the curtains ended up within the Cyclopean caverns instead. Yeah, let's do it. So I can't play down cornered, and I still really want to try to... Oh yeah, I have to deal with chosen by him. So So I'm going to evade. And then, so it'll still be here with us, which is really annoying, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Calvin is going to attempt to duck and weave. Get away. Okay, so that's a first tentacle of the game, I think.
Yeah.
Here comes another one, 5-2. As we evade, that's a curse. That's still good, actually. So
yeah,
5 minus 3. So I will remove a curse from the bag. The curtains are evaded. It's curtains for you. Evaded for now, and then I will remove Erwin from the game, just to not take too direct damage.
Does Erwin leave completely or for this one?
Just for this game. He doesn't leave your deck.
Okay, yeah.
There is a mechanic that does do that, Exile, which is on this leather coat that I have. You have to like repurchase it. But we're good for now. Although we're about to not be very good because smash, crash, kaboom! A figure, a perversion of what used to be a human. Suspiciously familiar. I don't know what that means. I wonder who it could be. This is a cultist humanoid monster. And as it smashes into our space, deals us each 3 damage.
Suspiciously. Just gonna take it.
Great. I hope we can deal with it.
Actually, I'm gonna use 1 on the flesh ward.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Because we are just about to upkeep. Oh dearie, dearie, dear, what to do, what to do.
Keep all your combat icons. So we can try to kill this goddamn cave dweller, right? Sorry, Written. I understood what you meant by tentacle, but that's okay.
Giving up is an option. But before we get to that...
Of course, we have to see how terrible it's going to get. First, we move into the Mythos phase. 12 out of 19 Doom. Stuck in the caverns down here. Oof, I should have tried for a clue. Scene shifting has Surge. Each enemy at your location immediately attacks you? I don't think so.
No,
So,
thank you.
Doom on the agenda. It surges into a hidden card. Ooh, I probably have one of these exciting things that you have too.
If it doesn't have a surge, then no, you don't.
It does have Surge. Sorry, that's I'm just reading this. I think it might be something similar to what you have.
Possibly.
Interesting. Okay. This is an unstable dimension. Oh.
Yeah, the thing about that is you can't even discuss the cards in a way that refer to the cards.
Yeah, exactly, right? I just wonder if it's similar, at least, to what you had. But this is an unstable dimension. A classic, you know, the caves are indeed unstable now that this massive beast is tearing through them. At the end of your turn...
Actually,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, that's actually good, because you can... Yeah, okay.
Because, yeah, so if I go first, I could fight the beast a few times, and then when the location flips, it will exhaust the cave dweller. Right?
Or I'll try and damage it as much as I can, then you might be able to kill it with 1.
That would be very nice. Yeah, sure.
Okay then, let's see what I got first.
Yes, good idea.
It has this domain, of course.
Sure. Ooh, we're just getting all the greatest hits here, hey?
After you flip a location, okay, so that's... Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah. Like, after you flip any number of locations, take a horror. But you spend the clues as a group, I would
Yeah, but
assume this would hit everybody.
It's still your location, your action, even if it's a reaction.
That's true. That's true.
The clues are spent as a group, but the action is still yours.
Right, so it would, yes, because you're right, it would say, after you flip any number of locations, each investigator, each investigator takes a horror, right, okay, and it doesn't say that, so that's good.
Yeah. Or as the creator says.
There you go. The dedicated flipper would be the one taking damage. All right, well, Psychosis McGee, what do you want to do here?
It's actually fine, like the psychosis doesn't really bother me. Which is kind of fitting because only if I take like horror, I'll take damage, so...
Right.
It's cool because now I can use this.
Ooh.
And Carolyn looks at this cave dweller and just pulls out her 45 Thompson and starts blasting.
Well, I started blasting.
So it's gonna be a 6-on-4, probably 3 times, but let's see. 6-on-4.
Is it? Sorry, is it? Yes, it is 6. Sorry, yes, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. So.
So it has retaliate. I just noticed.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So I'm gonna take 3. Actually, I'm just gonna check if that's how retaliate works, just in case.
Massive retaliate. Yeah.
The enemy performs an attack. Not the whole game. Can you imagine? Axe is MJ in disguise, or Maxine. Sorry. That'd be so cool. The Mythos Busters had their annual Arkham meme stream last night. Best memes for Arkham, which was great. Okay, sorry. This attack occurs whether you're engaged or not. Fine. It does not exhaust. Fine. It performs an attack against the attacking investigator.
Okay, so it's not gonna hit you.
I don't think so, but massive is a key word. It's considered to be engaged with each investigator when it attacks during the enemy phase. No, so no. Okay, you're right. Yeah, okay, it's only you. We're good. I mean, sorry, it's obviously not good. That sucks, but like...
I'm just gonna...
Even if it's massive axe. Yeah, that was the question we had.
Exhaust my flesh wood. I can't take another hit.
Can you get a higher skill value? I could throw you a couple icons, probably. We weren't prepared, Axe. We weren't prepared for this level of insanity. In a good way, don't worry about it.
I can only get 1, and I really don't want to do it, but...
No, I have some icons as well I can throw in. If that's what you'd like to do.
I'm just wondering what else I could do, because, well, it's gonna hit us in the enemy phase anyway.
Unless we can find a way to flip this location, which we can't because we don't have the clues for it. Unfortunately.
Oh, but...
At the end of my turn, it will flip, and so it won't hit us in the enemy phase because it'll be exhausted.
Okay, so what else can I do?
Evade, even though it won't succeed, I think is kind of the other thing. Which kind of sucks, but... it won't hit you, it won't, it doesn't have alert, so it doesn't hit you for failing.
Okay, so if I fail evade, then it won't retaliate.
Correct. Yes, retaliate is for attacks, and alert is the... Whoops, sorry, it's the equivalent for evasion.
Okay. Might as well discard Psychosis.
Attacks of opportunity are a thing, though.
Oh yeah, so discarding Psychosis will...
It's an action, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, double action, even.
Okay,
Bleh.
let's just try and evade on
Whee!
6 on 4. Well, I don't have any memories, so... Here's another.
Whoop.
Not at the Carcosa location.
The yellow mists make it a
Ah,
Carcosa
it
location
is.
somehow. So thanks so much. Thanks so much. Goddamn
Okay,
mists.
So
Oh.
Key of East goes to 3, and I take a damage.
Yeesh. Ease, even.
And I can't do nothing.
I mean, yeah, like, so if you're engaged with an enemy, in order to avoid attacks of opportunity, you have to fight, evade, parlay, or resign. There's no parlay or resign actions here. And fighting, of course, it carries a risk of getting hit.
Yeah, and evade has a risk of putting another damage on me from Psychosis.
Yes, the risk at least is slightly less, I guess, because it's just that one token, or there's 2 of them, I guess. Oh, plus the tablets might draw you into I don't know. I'm not sure what the odds are there.
But I can do this. I'll just heal 3 damage from myself.
Okay. You would still take, like, that's
3
an action
damage.
though, is the problem.
Yeah, I'll take 3 damage, but I'll heal first. So
Okay.
I'll heal to 2, then take the attack of opportunity, but I don't have to evade it.
Are you not gonna die?
No, because
not?
I heal first.
I think the attack of opportunity happens first. I believe. I can check if you desire. It's not very nice.
Yeah. It's like logic would state that the card happens before that, but
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. I'm noted. Yeah, the attack of opportunity is made immediately after the costs are paid, but before the application of that action's effect on the game state. It's like it interrupts you, which is crazy because nothing
Okay,
really interrupts in Arkham. Sucks.
then I won't do that. And the only thing I can do is evade.
I think so. Urgh. You're now a 5. Like, I understand that that's still like a problem, but you know, you're now at a 5.
Yeah.
Do I have an evasion icon for you? I do not.
Yeah, it's all the same basically because they're all -2, the negative things.
Take a damage, or take a horror, which would give you a damage, or reveal another token. Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can throw hypnotic therapy away.
Okay, go wild. That's good.
Let's just throw. Yeah, well maintained away.
Okay.
Let's throw a soothing melody
Wow,
away.
here we go.
So that's 8 on 6 at least. Yeah, that cancels out the bad Bad thingies. Okay, fine. Evade.
-2. There you go. Sometimes committing
Cool.
is the way.
So, is the cave dweller now exhausted?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
The evasion has gone off, which is great. I think I can survive, which is nice. I am going to... I'm going to try to kill the... I think if I want to kill the curtains.
Or hit the cave dweller.
Yeah. Now there's a curtains on me, so you know what? I'm going to evade the curtains first. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm 5 to 2. Whoop, that's a curse. Okay, so fail there, but we remove the curse from the bag. I'm going to evade the curtains again. That is a success this time. So Calvin's managed to get around them again, and he's going to go for a big old smashing, crashing blow on the cave dweller. I'm going to fight with brute force. So it has 3 combat icons, and it says if it's successful by 2 or more, it deals +2 damage. So I am not fighting with the axe. I'm fighting with my fists and my brain, so to speak. I'm fighting 8 to 4 against the cave dweller to put 3 damage on it, and hopefully that'll be good. Maybe. So that is 8 to 4 -2 is 6. So 3 damage on the dweller. At the end of my turn, take 2 damage and flip your current location to its other side, then discard this card. I guess I could have also spent resources, but rip me. That's okay. That's fine.
Okay.
The coat goes away. I take a damage there. And we flip our location. Whoop. To the Grand Ballroom. Because of the unstable dimension.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a way to get the arrival of the king, at least. But
That's true, actually. Oh no. Well, yeah, we have to deal with.
yeah, that first, then maybe get out.
I think getting out is a good idea. In the enemy phase, nothing happens because the mists are just chilling. In the upkeep phase, however, they all ready. So that's the cave dweller readies and the tattered curtains ready.
Yep.
We go to 14 out of 19 doom. Oh, and of course, Haster's domain. I had to flip my current location, so I take a horror as well, but I can cancel it with the key. Yeah. So okay, so that's at least that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, that's fine. Mythos phase, yeah, 14 out of 19 doom. Let's do it. Ah, it's the Song of My Soul, a classic. All right, I can respect that. I can respect it, and I'll leave it there, singing out towards me.
I'm just gonna check. Do massive enemies exhaust when somebody avoids them?
I believe so. Let's have a look.
Just in case, because that would be a good thing.
Well, yeah, because it's considered to be engaged with each investigator. An exhausted enemy with the massive keyword is not considered to be engaged with any investigators.
Okay.
So yes, I think so. So if you evade it, it exhausts, and therefore it's exhausted. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, cool. Because if you could exhaust it, then I could heal us.
Yes, sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Or kill it.
Or kill it. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Either or, right?
But let's see what else we got here. Broken reality, but of course.
I can't remember which one this is. Ah, yes, the...
Fewest clues.
Oh.
Eh.
That's so bad.
So we have to do it twice. Okay. Another small break before we die.
Yeah, I think another small break before we die, but then there will be death galore right after this break. Hey everyone, go get yourselves a drink.
After these messages.
Right after these messages. So the scene is set. We're currently in the grand ballroom, surrounded on all sides by caves somehow. A massive beast is there. There's noxious fumes and yellow curtains trying to strangle us. Carolyn's psychotic. Calvin is listening to the Song of Your Soul, apparently. Incredible. Just incredible.
Interestingly, Carolyn has no sanity points lost, but she's just a bit psychotic.
Her psychosis is purely physical.
Yeah.
But we're ready to jump in. Crosshair, what do you think? Should we do it?
Yeah. Let's get doomed.
Let's get doomed. I think we had decided the safest route was to try to evade the cave dweller, and then give us a bit of breathing room to either shoot it, stab it, slash it, bop it, twist it, turn it, or just run. But I don't think we're gonna run. I think we're gonna try to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a punk down.
That's what I like to hear. I am very happy to start if you would like. I can try to evade here and go with that. Yeah. Song of Your Soul. Okay, just looking. These are all the cards that were removed from the game because they were called by the king in yellow. I have cards over here on the side that were like removed from the game, which is pretty wild. Anyway,
really likes leather goats.
Oh yeah, apparently he loves a good. Well, I mean, it's probably pretty cold in the caves, not in the palace.
Yeah.
Calvin, of course, is going to try to. Well, I'm also going to evade these tattered curtains, but that's less important. What's more important is that I deal with the cave dweller. I guess I could try to kill the curtains, but anyway, he's going to try to make sure that he and Corzard, hello, welcome to Doomed. I'm joined by the Crosshair. Hello. We're picking up where we left off 2 weeks ago. Be right back. Of course, now naturally means 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just about.
So we're picking up there. We're having a good time. Oh, we got Crag on here. Oh, everyone. Okay, perfect. Everyone's here. Phenomenal. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Doomed. Okay. Calvin is going to try to get himself and Carolyn out of harm's way. I'm just going to remind myself what all the different bad stuff tokens do. Okay, -2. So I'm going to spend 2 resources and be scrappy to go up to 8 to try to evade this guy. I'm going to try to get us out of there so we can exhaust him, and then we'll be free to do all the other badass stuff we got to do. Let's go 8 to 6. Here we go. That's a good start, and we're happy to see it. So,
Step 1 done.
Step 1, Calvin manages to pull Carolyn around a corner while the cave dweller lumbers on down the hall. My second action is going to be to evade this curtain.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to kill it.
I could. I might. I'm wondering if I should put a couple damage on the cave dweller as well.
Yeah, I'm going to try and kill it also.
Okay. Yeah, if I do 2, that would put a couple damage on it, which might be useful. Oh yeah, also I want to discard this. Okay, great. So I'm going to... Let me think about this for a moment here.
Again, the curtains can be handled later, of course.
That's true. I think I'm going to try to escape them. I think the big beefy boy is the worst thing right now, so... as the curtains from the walls come to life and try to envelop Calvin, he's going to just try to shake them off and get out of there. I am going to evade 6 to 2 on the curtains. Ooh, an Elder Sign. That is delicious. I really want to heal a damage, and I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, that feels safe. I'm going to heal a damage. Okay. The curtains evaded. And now, for my last trick, we're going to go in here. and I'm going to attempt to sneak up behind the beast, and Calvin's going to attempt to clong it on the back side of the head with his axe, which of course trusty axe brought from the spaceship. And if he can distract it long enough, maybe Carolyn can help finish it off. I'm going to spend 2 resources and commit active desperation to go up by a whole bunch. 6, I think, but I mostly just want to do 2 damage. That's the key.
Yeah.
So I will, yeah, I'm going to fight here. What is this, 11 to 4? Let's do it. Here we go. Yes. 2 more damage. Okay. There we go. Calvin manages to distract the beast, and then, you know, he's like motioning to Carolyn with his eyes to, like, you know, do something.
Okay, I'll just go gather some clues.
Oh, okay.
Carolyn turns around from behind the stone pillar they hid behind and just aims her 45 Thompson at the big guy. Say hello to my little friend.
Oh, I love to see it.
So,
just throw the whole gun at it.
yeah, there we go. No exhaust. Nope. Okay, cool. So that's gonna be a
lot, I think. Hey,
7 against 4. Cool.
3-1. You good, eh? Yeah. Nice.
And the cave dweller goes up to 7 damage.
Ooh. He's roaring. He's furious. He's stumbling around trying to find the source of the gunfire.
And with a little bit of a reload,
Nice.
another salvo of bullets comes raining down.
I love to see it. Oh, okay.
So it was 7 on 4, and that's gonna be it.
Yes. Heir, we killed the thing.
Now with a final salvo of bullets, the lumbering cave dweller just roars and falls down a bottomless pit.
Oh, perfect. Which is, of course, in the center of the ballroom, as one might suspect. Nice.
Goes directly into the victory display.
Mwah.
And as my last action, if you want healing, do tell. I'm gonna heal 3.
I know I'm right on the edge of disaster here, so I might... Can we split it up? Do you mind if I take 1? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Nice.
Take 1.
Yay.
I'll heal 2 damage from myself.
All right.
And then the fun starts again.
Hooray! I mean, honestly, not that... Oh, no, that's that. Okay. So in the enemy phase, of course, there's some yellow mists here, which are just chilling. I mean, they are part of the sort of, like, they're streaming through from the other side here. Thank you very much for the follow, Aramithius. I feel like I recognize your name. Welcome to Doomed. I'm joined today by special guest, the Crosshair.
Hello. Might be a follower mode on, so it's gonna be 10 minutes before you can speak, but...
Absolutely correct. I realize now as well, sorry, as soon as I said that, Crosshair, I realized I just posted in the Discord for this mod being like, does anyone know how to do this, and that? Because we were having some technical issues before the stream. So I'm going to go back and edit that to say that I found a workaround, which is great.
Hey.
Where were we? Right, okay, enemy phase, right. So the mists do nothing. The curtains... So ridiculous. They will ready during the upkeep phase and re-engage me, I guess. Unless you want them, you could.
Well, I do still have 2 salvos left, so I could also kill it, and I think I can handle more.
If you want to, that's a-okay by me. I would probably end up trying to get clues and flip things and do all that.
Yeah, I might be better suited for getting clues, though.
I'm very happy to take this curtain and evade it if I have to, right? And we will, so then we'll do our upkeep as the beast lies dead. At the very least, there's that, which is good news. And we do our upkeep. Now that's interesting. Calvin and Carolyn still need to find a way out. The problem is, of course, that they didn't come through the Bottomless Pit. They came through the staircase of Carcosa, or the palace, or whatever. And now they have to find a way back to the staircase so they can get up, and then the cave to get out. It's a very confusing situation in terms of finding the ways through these different dimensions.
But of course, before we do that...
Yes. Of course. Oh, and of course, sorry, I'm looking here now, Crosshair as well. There's Haster's Domain exists here. Revelation next to Haster's Domain. Put it next to the agenda deck, fine. After you flip any number of locations, take a horror. Now, that's not, you know, that's not going to kill anybody. So maybe we just leave it, but it's just a thing. If we end up with an action, might be worth trying to clear. We get a 15 out of 19 Doom, and we draw some encounter cards, which I'm just sure hoping isn't that bad. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes, Song of My Soul goes off at the end of the round. Thank you, Crosshair. I do not have any events in my hand. So, which is lucky, honestly. I'll take it. For each event, discard it or take a horror. I have none. Then discard Song of Your Soul. So I will. The Song of His Soul does nothing. Ah, yes, so scene shifting. Surge. You must either place a Doom on the current agenda, yikes, or move each enemy a location towards you. Each enemy at your location immediately attacks you. Well, I won't die.
Yeah, you'll take 2 of both.
Which
I don't think we can afford.
Oh, it'll put me at 6 of 7. It also has Surge, so I'm just contemplating that situation.
Yeah, I have some healing.
Mm-hmm. I might do it just to save us the Doom, because I really ideally we can get out, you know, but if we can't, I don't want us to Doom out. That's the hope here.
Oh, right, I don't have any healing.
Doc, you said you had healing. What happened?
It's healing for me.
Oh, it's personal healing. Oh, okay. I remember you were throwing liquor bottles at the problem earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take because the yellow mists don't engage us. They're still aloof. I just take the attacks from everything else.
Yeah.
Oh, and, I mean, this isn't ideal, but I'm going to do it anyway. When I would take horror, exhaust a virtual access key to cancel one of that horror. So I'll take 2 damage and 1 horror from the attacks.
See what horrors await.
Well, the scene shifts because this has Surge, so I'm immediately going to draw into something else. This is less good. Each investigator at a cave location must test Agility 3.
Oh.
It's coming down, run! So the caves are collapsing, but of course we are not there, so no big. No big.
All right, let's see.
That's good. That's a freebie. It was not a freebie.
Irresistible truths.
I
That's
love the
3
elements.
knowledge. If you are at the Carcosa location, which I am, you must commit all eligible skill cards to this test. If you fail, take 2 horror. Eligible skill card. That doesn't mean the icons.
No, it just means cards that say skill, which is... It's interesting, like, I mean, some builds are very skill-oriented, so that would really hurt them, but...
Oh, yeah, skill cards, yeah. Okay, so it's just gonna be a 3-on-7 test.
Yeah. It's not so bad, is it?
And -2, so
Okay.
bye-bye. That's
So are
key
the
of
truths irresistible to you, or are they resistible to you? This is the question.
They're more like resistible truths.
Not such a big deal.
I don't need to know that.
That's fine. So it's background to us here. I'm gonna save the game just in case here.
I don't need to really get rid of psychosis, I don't think.
Oh yeah, actually, I guess now that you don't mind taking a bit of damage anymore, right? It's not so scary.
Yeah, and I can heal more with the painkillers.
True. True.
So, do you... Actually, you should probably try and handle the curtains before I do anything.
Curtains! So good. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Calvin's going to tangle with these curtains for the last time. Har har. Hopefully, anyway. Before attempting to... I guess we're going to try to move on, right? After that, we're going to try to get out of the pit, back up to the gates. Need as many clues as we can get our hands on. And we are allowed to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend one clue to get rid of the broken reality first.
Cool. That's yeah. We can do that from... We are allowed to flip on Palace Gates, right? And we're allowed to spend the clue at Palace... Yeah, so we just need to get to Palace Gates, and then we can... As long as we have a bunch of clues.
We need to flip Grand Ballroom to flip the Bottomless Pit, and then flip the Bottomless Pit to flip the Palace Gates.
Can we... sorry, I'm trying to remember how it works now. Can we move... Once we've flipped the pit from the ballroom, can we just walk up to the gates and flip them? To avoid the pit entirely?
Yeah, but basically we need to flip the pit first.
Yes.
So that's the first one. Then we can just walk to the Palace Gates and flip that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you are right, though. I'm going to start by trying to chop up these curtains so that I can try to get clues and give us a hand. Give us a hand with that situation, so at least I can try to help a little bit before we start flipping and moving. Try to run. So, Calvin, what does it say here? The scalloped tatters of the King in Yellow must hide Ithil forever. Naturally, they're trying to strangle him because, you know, Calvin is the one who's often pushing forward into the unknown to try to smash up the plans of cultists. They understand he's a threat, and he is going to try to end that right now. I have 6 combat, and I'm going to make it 8 combat to fight. Chop! Good. It's a good chop. Strong chop. And then once more, I have 6 combat this time, and I'll commit a combat icon to be 7. -4. Okay. Less good. So that swing somehow bounces off the taut fabric. Darn. I really hope to be able to get a clue for you as well. Last action, I'm going to fight again here. I'm going to commit another combat icon to be 7-4. Anything else? No, that's what I'm going to do. We're fighting? We're fighting. 7-4. Let's try to chop up. Yeah, these curtains.
There we go.
That's what you love to see. Okay, good. Curtains are chopped. So that's at least something. Bye-bye. See you on the next go-around.
Okay then, first action, get rid of that broken reality. Carolyn doesn't believe in broken realities.
No, she only believes in solid realities. It's a weird assortment of people to be dealing with, like, physics. You know? A drifter and a psychologist, and, like, I mean, Carolyn makes so much sense for venturing into the minds of people who are totally messed up by fear, but, like, now we're physicists? What's happening? It's great.
Yeah. Carolyn did have some training in the school when she rearranged the whole place.
That is true. Kung Fu Fenris, welcome to Doomed. I'm joined today by special guest star, the Crosshair.
So,
things are going pretty well. Oh my goodness, Kung Fu Fenris. Sorry, we're just wrapping up the scenario from a couple weeks back when we had to quit out early. But we managed to smash up a big spooky guy, which was great. We've got Aramithius here now. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the follow, and thank you for waiting for that 10-minute follow. I appreciate it. We got Thanatoasted here as well. Talking about potatoes? Anyway, it's good times. I'm sorry, Crosshare. I'm totally interrupting Carolyn's turn.
No, it's okay. And Kung Fu Fenris, I'm like the Heather Locklear of this stream.
You're the special guest star who's always on. Is that the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I believe it was Melrose Place, maybe.
That
or
sounds right.
90210.
Yeah, I unfortunately, that was a bit... It's outside my understanding at the time.
So yeah, Carolyn is just gonna burn the midnight oil here and try to get a clue. There's my 2 resources, and it's a 7 on 4, so...
What did we get here? Ooh. Oh. Ugh. Oh, I...
Well... -2. That's a 4 on 4, so yay!
Aramithius, great question. Can I, just while we're taking our turn here, can I ask, are you familiar with Arkham Horror, the card game? I don't want to tread over any, like, content that you already know. Sure, so the question, Crosshair, is, are the characters selected, or are they just dealt out from a selection for the scenarios? Short answer is, Crosshair and I, on Doomed, we are playing thematically. Oh, okay. Cool. That's cool. So we're playing thematically through the campaigns. I have a whole series of these on my YouTube page. You can check that out as well. And I'm trying to choose... I always try to choose my character thematically, but the character stays with you through the whole campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike the board game where you can pretty much pick up a character and play, here you have to build a deck for it before you can play it, so you choose a character, build a deck for it, or take a pre-made deck and then play with that.
It's still the only... Oh, no, it's not the only card game, I guess. It's the only card game I've played where there's, like, experience to be earned through the campaign. I know that Gloomhaven and other card games are like that as well. I just haven't played those. The idea of, like, starting a campaign with a character and then kind of watching them grow in power and deciding which direction they go is very cool for me. I really like that.
Yeah.
Did you get the clue? Yes, you did.
Yeah. Another investigation at 7 and 4. Yep.
Excellent.
And with that, I'll just spend the clues.
Right away? Perfecto.
And we flip everything.
Whee! And then if I recall correctly, everything fills back up to its limit, right? When it flips?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so it's just here, basically, then. That gets some extra clues.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the cave is open.
Yay. And then there's... Yeah, I remember Crosshair. These were the labyrinths and the gardens are the places that have, like, extra story cards. I mean, so does the ballroom. But we'd have to go and flip the palace gates and then come back, and it would just be such a disaster with the time that we have left.
Yeah. It's 15 to 19, and yeah. I don't think that's happening.
So my hope is that next turn we can get 2 clues and both of us can get up to the palace gates to make sure it's flipped, and then just keep running and kind of go from there. That's my hope.
If we're both at the spiral staircase when it flips, it also flips the palace gates, and we can move to the palace gates.
You're right. Sorry, it just says to a connecting location. I assumed it was to a, like, below you location because it's a staircase, but that's... No, you're right. We can... That's great. So we just both need to be on the spiral staircase. We'll flip it, and then we'll both move up to the... whatever the cave location above us is.
Yeah.
And I'm... Haster's Domain gives you a horror as well, I should say. Sorry, I realized that's in place.
Oh.
But I figure you don't mind so much. Oh, maybe you do actually. I don't know. Oh God, maybe you do.
No, I don't actually mind. I knew this was gonna happen, so...
Flesh ward? Does that even work? That's possible.
It's on
no, it
attacks
doesn't.
only. So after you take one or more horror, take 1 direct damage. Okay, thank you. The horror goes on the key of is, which triggers. But well maintained brings it back to my hand.
Ah, that's good.
And then, because key of is left play, discard the top 10 cards, which is...
So, I mean, all of them, right?
I think I had a weakness in here. Yep.
Delicious. Oh, you love to see that. That is delightful.
And then I think during upkeep I'll take a horror.
Yes, as you draw a new card, that's right. Which I guess probably shoots Psychosis again, right? Potentially. Is it once? It's just always, yeah.
Yep. But
hmm?
it's still 5, so
Okay.
should be fine.
Okay. We cross our fingers. In the enemy phase, the yellow mists are, well, they don't attack. They are simply giving this cave the Carcosa trait. Fine. Fine, who cares? As we move into upkeep, we draw cards, we ready everything that we have on the board. Oh, look who's here! Someone I've been waiting for. And no time like the present. It's way too late. It's way too late for my card.
While I took damage, I also drew into gold, so...
Yes, we love gold.
Yep.
I love gold. Okay, cool. So Carolyn and Calvin managed to find their way through the ballroom back into the caves, which then lead up into the staircase, which leads up and out to the surface. I think they can see their way forward, and we are very, very hopeful that that's going to be okay. Oh God, we go to 16 out of 16 out of 19 Doom, and we draw some encounter cards.
Gonna move on.
Here we go. Crosshair, I'm drawing an encounter card. Here it is. Sophistic Spires. Spawns at the nearest Carcosa location. They're massive, but they don't attack during the enemy phase. So they only do, whatever. Attacks of opportunity. I think... Yep.
This one. Because the mists make this a Carcosa.
You are 100% correct, sir. That is a disaster. I think I can survive walking out. Maybe that's okay. We'll figure it out. It out. The Spires.
I can take it at least.
Bam. Yeah.
If I get rid of Psychosis.
Which triggers an attack of opportunity. Can you painkillers something, maybe? I don't know. What do you have? Jeez Louise.
Painkiller is a free...
Yeah. So that's good at least.
Yeah, it's a free action, so I can basically use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not an action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I can flesh ward the... one of the...
That's true.
I don't need to, but... Yeah, okay.
The spires rise up out of the cavern floor, somehow both in this reality and in the next simultaneously. Ooh, just narrating. Go for it.
Right, let's see what else this brings. Scene shifting.
Scene
Each
change.
enemy at your location immediately attacks you, or I put a doom. I think I'm gonna put a doom.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it so much, but I think you're right. I think we have to deal with we have to do that.
Otherwise I'm out.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. Goes away, and one more doom there, and it also had surge, so...
Yeah. What is this? Chosen by him.
To an item spell ally asset you control that can leave play. At the end of your turn, take 2 direct damage and shuffle the attached asset back into your deck.
Or remove the asset from the game, which also removes chosen by him, which is a good shout as well.
Backpack.
I need a backpack to go with these exciting coats.
Yeah. He's a weird one.
Damn it, Haster, what are you doing? Just ridiculous. Here's a question. If I go first, I could try to evade this thing, which would then free us up to just walk out of here.
True.
I could try.
It's massive though, so does it... Oh yeah, it hits us both if we do anything.
That's it. Oh,
yeah.
Eremetheus is correct. This is the one, like, the best thing I ever learned for my Netrunner game, which is not great, but that's okay, is like, it's a card game. You want to draw cards. If you don't draw cards, there's no point in having them in your deck. Arkham turns that on its head. Every time you draw a card, you're like, I sure hope that's the one. I sure hope it's not the one card I can't deal with right now.
Yep.
Disaster City. Yeah, Crosshair, I'm gonna try to evade this for us. If you're okay with me trying to take the initiative on that. That would free us up to then just like go and start kind of doing everything else that we need to do. Calvin can sort of see these spires rising up out of the ground. He knows he needs to be very careful around them. They are not physically dangerous, but the sanity of them is very... they can affect one's sanity. He needs to navigate them precisely as they want to be navigated. I have 6 agility to evade. I'm going to commit this mask from Venice, this Venetian mask. Why do I have it? Great question. Which is 8 to 5, which is not... I'm going to also spend my last resource. Oh, I don't want to. I'm doing it. I'm going to spend my last resource to be 9 to 5. Let's evade. And I'm going to try to chart out the journey for Carolyn here. That's okay. That's fine. -2, right? Yeah. Good. Okay. Evaded. And then Calvin is going to move up to the spiral staircase. And I'll try to save us an action here and get us a clue.
Yep.
I have
clue would do.
5 intellect. I'm going to commit this raven. I have a reason to be committing so many things, but, you know, just, yeah. To go 6. As he tries to figure out exactly which way is up on this spiral staircase. That's fine by me. I'll take it. Take a clue. And he motions back to Carolyn like, come on, you just have to navigate it this way.
Okay. Well, you're not here anymore, but I'm gonna do this. Heal up.
Hey. No, that's fair.
Yeah. Heal up 3. Then move up. And section. Do I want to play some? Nah, let's get the clue. Oh, right. It's 4 on 3 now.
Is it 3? Oh, shoot. I might be able to help. I can help slightly. Would you like help?
Yeah, I can help myself also a bit.
You do.
I'm gonna throw this flashlight away. I'm not gonna need this one.
You know what? Actually, we don't need any more clues after this, right? Theoretically, so I'm gonna throw a book at it too.
5 on 3, 6 on 3. Who needs a mask anyway?
Yeah, whatever. Oh, pantalone.
7 on 8 on 3.
Okay.
That should do.
I think so. Oh, very much. Excuse me.
Do you need horror healing? You'll get a resource.
Yeah, sure, I'll take one. Why not?
Yeah.
If you're all right with it. Boop.
Cool. And then
Thank you.
we're gonna spend the clues straight away
May as well, right?
to flip this location and this location.
And all the connecting locations.
Yeah.
And we move to a connecting location, which is up, which is beautiful. One clue? One clue. Put a clue on it. Whoop. A crack in the slab, hidden within the vast sculptures of the asteroid. The passage leads to a dark and complex system of caverns underneath the surface. This is, of course, where we came into this whole madness thing in the first place, but... Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, right.
Oh. Did you... Yeah.
At the end of your turn, take 2 direct damage and shuffle the attached asset back to the deck. Okay, cool. That's fine. So 2 damage. Backpack goes.
Goes bye-bye.
Oh, right. This stays.
Does it? What's it attached to, though? Yeah, it's one of those weird things. Like, if it's attached to something, if that thing leaves play, I'm pretty sure it also just disappears. I'm gonna just check that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and backpack goes back into the air and the painkillers go away.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. That's the ticket.
Cool. Cool.
So the backpack was indeed chosen by him.
Yeah, by the king.
The king.
I kept it.
The yellow mists are a hunter, so they're gonna hunt up towards us, making this bottomless pit a Carcosa location for some reason. And these spires will ready as well, but they don't go nowhere. Upkeep. Oh, delicious. I mean, I might have needed that before, but that's okay.
Nothing special, but we don't need nothing special.
That is true. Mythos. We go to... Oh, and, sorry, Haster. Ugh. Is that a problem? I realize that's a thing that's happening here. Haster's domain was
Take one horror. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can't, because I wouldn't die, but...
No, you won't die, right?
Yeah, but I also don't want to go to 1.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, I could have flipped it. I see what you're saying. Yes, perfect. I took the horror, no problem.
Actually, can you? Because it was at my turn that we got the second clue.
Scheisse. That's a good point.
Fine. I'll take the damage.
Alright. You can use your
And the
painkillers.
horror.
There's free triggers in upkeep and stuff as well if you ever want to use
Oh.
Yeah. There's like a whole list of when there are free triggers. I don't actually remember all of them, but there's a bunch.
If I use painkillers to heal 1 damage, the psychosis will deal me 1 damage because I take a horror from the painkillers.
This is a public service announcement for Peace Glardicus. You should not be watching right now. It's great to see you. Let's talk soon. Do not watch this. It's good to see you, though. Aramethius, thank you so much for joining us on Doomed. It's great to have met you. Oh, okay. You take a horror, leave the stream. Talk soon. Peace Glardicus and I... Bye-bye! Kung Fu Fenris, Peace Glardicus and I are playing this same campaign separately, where we are playing a librarian and a martial artist, which, frankly, Crosshair is a much weirder assortment of people to be taken on this campaign, but that's okay. It's good times.
But yeah, if I use painkillers, I take 1 horror, which then triggers psychosis, which gives me a damage.
Oh my god, you're right. What a disaster. So really it just gives you a horror.
Yeah.
Right? Like for no reason, for no benefit.
Yeah, horror.
Oh my god. Okay, right. Let's survive this, right? And then we can try to Oh my god.
Maybe.
Maybe. We go to 18 out of 19 Doom on Shall Dry and Die. And
No Doom and no damage. Thank you.
No Doom, no damage. Broken Reality. Attach this card to the cave or Carcosa location with the fewest clues without a copy of Broken Reality attached. Oh. After you flip the attached location, flip it back to its original side. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. This cave does have a Broken Reality, but you know what? Carolyn said not to worry about it, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Bottomless Pit, actually.
Oh, the fewest clues. You're absolutely correct. Sorry, my apologies. Thank you.
Okay, let's see what I get. Another one of those.
Please?
Irresistible truths. Okay. Well, we are not at the Carcosa location. The thing is... it's a 3-on-4, but if I take a horror, I take a damage, which means I die.
So I have the ability to assist here. I don't know if you do.
I have one.
Okay. I can. So yeah. I can either. We can each give. Sorry. I have the ability to give you 2, but you can't also then contribute 1. Annoyingly. If that makes sense.
Okay. I have 1 icon.
Right. Okay, and I have another. I think I can do that. Yeah, done. I can commit a 2nd icon for you.
Cool.
Good.
Key
this
of
is
goes away.
Key of Ys, one of your best cards, and Until the End of Time, one of my best cards. But it's the just okay.
So, no pressure, but 6-on-3.
No pressure. No pressure. No big deal. Woof. I mean, look at that.
That's a close one. But we pass.
Too close. They were almost irresistible. You almost leapt back down into the bottomless pit and just exploded.
Like, nah, too much information.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, what now?
Well, we don't want to go back down, I think.
I tend to agree. Tend to agree. Would you like to get us the hell out of here?
Well, yeah, you can also go first.
Calvin rushes towards the surface of Fragment where they landed their whatever lander, I don't know what it was, off of the Tatterdemalion, and he frantically fires it up trying to get them out of here because if we recall, I actually didn't until just now, the asteroid is collapsing. The seismic activity of being both Carcosa and the asteroid simultaneously is just collapsing the reality of this place. So I'm going to run here, and I am going to resign. Last action.
Cool. Carolyn will also run to the surface.
Oh.
Now is an interesting question. Which triggers first? When I use painkillers, I take 1 horror and then heal 1 damage, right?
Yes.
But before that heal 1 damage happens, the psychosis would kill me.
I think so, because I think forced means always interrupt what you're doing, because forced is a bad thing. Like I think so.
So if I use a free action to take a painkiller, I'll die.
I believe that's correct. Is that okay?
Cool.
Yeah. What's the plan here? What are you doing?
Just a moment.
Okay, all right. Carolyn is just standing there on the surface of the collapsing asteroid with like drugs in her hand, and she's like, "Should I do it? Should I do it, guys?"
She's whispering to someone named Tasilda, like,
Uh-oh.
does it really matter what I do?
Ugh.
I'm just reading and reading and reading. So
Of course. I have a hidden card in my hand as well. I had to remind
Calvin
myself
is just
what it did.
waiting.
Mm.
Like, you coming?
Calvin's like, "Come on, I got get in the car, loser. We're going shopping." And he's he's got the shuttle all ready to go.
Okay. So Carolyn, while looking at the desolate surface of the fragment, in a haphazard mind pops a painkiller,
What the hell? Okay.
killing her. But
Oh. Oh. Would you like to read this card for the purposes of understanding
yeah,
what
it's
the
the
hell?
echoes of Tasilda matter. It's a madness. I got it from a search happened, I think, when I drew it.
Mm-hmm.
And secretly added to your hand. And action is when an investigator would be defeated by damage, cancel that damage and add this card to the victory display. And then in paragraphs, if you are not the only undefeated investigator remaining, that investigator cannot be you.
Wow, that is so hard to parse. Sorry, that last sentence is really hard to understand, but I think I understand.
It's basically, if you're the only one, then you can use it on yourself.
Right, but if you're not the only one, you can't just throw yourself onto a sword over and over to score victory points.
Yep.
Okay.
And I had to choose my words very carefully. Like, you were like, so do you want to take us out of here? And I was like, or you could go first.
That is, yes, very good. Okay, so Tasilda echoes, I guess, through Carolyn's body to save her from the psychosis of poppin' painkillers.
And I also heal the damage.
Yes, you
because the
do,
damage
because you
was-
don't take the damage. You're right. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Wow.
And that goes into the victory display.
I mean, this is wild. Okay. What a power move. Okay. I may have something similar, but I couldn't get it to go off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have something that's fun that I could do, but... Or I could resign. We just want to be happy with what we got and end it there, or...
I mean, I just don't know what happens if we advance Agenda 2A. This is the problem. I don't know what's on the backside of the bad stuff, you know?
Yeah, I have 2 actions left, so... I'm just wondering... Oh, I could do that.
What?
If I move to the Bottomless Pit, I could kill myself.
Yeah. I mean, yes, you could.
It would mean that I take a trauma, right?
It would be damage, so yes, a physical trauma. Carolyn, what are you doing? Oh my god. There must be some sort of hidden card in Carolyn's hand or in Crosshair's hand that says, like, you know, kill yourself, get experience or something something ridiculous. Just oh my god.
Okay, let's bring in the story. Carolyn looks at the lander and just looks at Calvin like, well, I guess I'll see you on the other side, and presses the button to close the shuttle door.
His face is pressed up against the glass, and you can't hear him, but he's making a no, with his face.
Carolyn just runs back into the hidden passage and into the caves.
Wait. Boom.
And dies.
Oh,
As
God.
she falls into the bottomless pit.
Carolyn! What is this? Ah, the madness of Carcosa.
Carolyn went a bit insane in her
you seeing
psychosis.
this? I'm so glad you pulled psychosis.
Yeah. Ran back into the caves because she still had something there that she wanted to know.
Yeah, after an investigator is defeated, reactions you can choose. I mean, it's a good choice, I think.
Yeah.
Add this card to the victory display. Victory 2.
Carolyn is just inside the fragment of Carcosa, standing on a pile of skulls.
Look at this. This is wild. I don't know. I wonder who that is down below. Tasilda or something, right? Who's like calling to you maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Or Carolyn is running to them.
Well, your sacrifice will not be in vain. I will take those experience points, as will you, and we will use them very well.
I do take that one extra.
So I guess Calvin launches off the... Well, we'll read the resolution, but like, I don't know. Carolyn leapt into the abyss. What an exciting conclusion, the Crosshair.
She lost her key of ease, so she had to go back for it.
Right, of course she did. Very important to go back for the key of ease. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, advance. Back to reality. If each undefeated investigator has resigned, you hang on tight. This is Calvin, of course, as the shuttle lifts off the asteroid moments before it crumbles into itself, leaving only a puff of yellow dust in its wake. Resolution 3. Whoop, there goes gravity. Yeah, Crunk Defenders, that's how I felt as well, actually. Resolution 3. Sorry, wrong one. Here we go. Resolution 3. Whoops. Oh my god, sorry, wrong button. Sorry. Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. When you finally regroup back on the Tatterdemalion, all you can think of... all you can think of is all the time you could have saved if only you remembered the real threat you face. The sun only has a few years left to shine, and most of humanity is oblivious to its imminent demise. In the face of this impending doom, you know what you must do. Save as many as you can before the inevitable. Each investigator earns experience equal to Victory X, and proceed to Scenario 6. So we earn, let's count them up, but I'm pretty sure, Crosshair, I appreciate those 2 points. I'll give you that. I'll give you that for sure.
Yeah, we don't get any points from me.
1 for the Cave Dweller, 1 for Echoes of Tasilda Matter, and 2 for Madness of Carcosa.
Yeah.
So, not a ton, but we'll take the 4 experience, because that is something, certainly. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Basically, 1 for killing a massive thing that basically Carolyn did, and then 1 for dying to the echoes of actually dying to popping some painkillers moments before leaving the planet.
Yeah.
And then two for going completely cuckoo and running back into the cave.
Yeah, like, what the heck is going on here? I love it. Oh, shoot. We do not, actually.
I guess somehow Carolyn made it out anyway.
Well, we can... What can we say? Is it possible that... So either she didn't really throw herself in. She just, she thinks she did, and that was part of the hallucination of it. Or she did, and somehow we were able to conjure up a different version of her back on the ship, from maybe reconstructed from her memories or something.
a cloning facility, but it's not perfect, so she takes 1 extra damage from it.
Right. She's slightly less physically fit because of, the cloning process.
Yeah.
Scenario 6, which will be... a dimensional splice. There you go, Kung Fu Fenris. That's a good idea. Scenario 6, which we'll be coming on to soon, is called Starfall, which, as per the resolution of this scenario, makes me think that the sun is about to go... Well, not nova, but it's about to collapse. And I guess we gotta rescue a bunch of people. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but that's pretty exciting.
Yep, or at least ourselves.
Or at least ourselves, exactly, Crosshair.
I had the 2 weakness cards in my hand, and I was like, okay, Calvin is in the caves, right on top of the pit, so if I now get 2 clues and flip it, then Calvin will die.
Wait, what the heck?
But yeah, the Psychosis painkiller thing really was opportune.
Really, really opportune. I have, I should mention here, I have, just because I think it's interesting, I have a mirror version, Echoes of Tasilda Mind, which is when an investigator would be defeated by horror, cancel it and add this thing. It's the same text, but of course neither of us were really in that much danger of getting horrored to death.
Yeah, I have 9.
And if you took any, you would take damage, and so it was like this massive Sophistic Spires business was garbage, and like it was just a little tough to navigate, so I didn't try to go for it. I think it's this is the idea of a victory point hidden card is incredible. I love that. Okay, I really want to get this for the point, but do I really want to get this because it means sacrificing somebody?
Like Carolyn.
Like Carolyn, exactly. Throwing yourself back down there. Well, that is a blast. I know that... sorry, go ahead, Crosshare.
No,
Oh.
I had nothing.
No, we have nothing but a good time. I know this is a short session, but of course this is the additional hour that would have been tacked on last time when we were playing this scenario. I wasn't feeling well back then, just to reiterate, and I'm really happy to be feeling much better today. Crosshair and I are going to consult, but I believe we may take on the final scenario of Dark Matter very soon. Perhaps even Monday, 1400 Eastern Time, which Crosshair, of course, I want to confirm with you.
Yeah,
before we
like,
confirm it.
the time isn't an issue, but it might be a 3 or 4 hour scenario, so...
That's true. So we should discuss whether we want to even try to maybe start earlier to not, get too late in the evening or whatever. But it will be a long one, I imagine, because saving people from a dying star. Who knows?
Or we split the scenario into 2 streams, or...
That's true. That's doable as well.
We'll see.
Yeah, there's lots of different possibilities here, and we're looking forward to tackling them. I'm happy my first stream of 2022 is a Doomed stream with you, honestly, Heir. It's a good time.
And a success at it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you did throw Carolyn into a bottomless pit, but I still count it as a success.
Oh, no, she did it.
My apologies.
It was part of the story, man.
Yeah, man, it's part of the story. I love it. This game is so evocative for stories, and sometimes it's a bit silly. You handcuff a ghoul and drag them around, interrogating them to get clues or something like that's, or whatever. Sometimes there's really you pay an extra dimensional being to tell you about its master or whatever. There's some silly interactions, but I just think this campaign is so juicy in terms of its lore and its storytelling. It's been great.
Yep. And I had fun, especially tormenting you. What are you doing?
Well, you have one more opportunity to do that, maybe 2. And I don't doubt we're going to have twoomed rather streams back after this campaign as well. I really don't doubt it.
Yeah, I heard that. I really don't think we'll have Tomb stream after this one.
Oh, geez. Oh, no, I really don't. Maybe that is what I said. I really don't think... Oh, Anyway, the opposite of that. I assume we will,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like, nope, I'm done.
Nope, no more, never again. No, this game shines in I love solo Doomed for my own, like, because it, just you against the world is so evocative and stuff as well. But like, this game shines in multiplayer. It's so much better when there's more than one person at the table. And yeah,
might even be a stream coming sometime.
ooh, that would be fun. We need to find the right scenario. If it's the trio I'm thinking, Crosshair, we need to find the right scenario for that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But it's been a
Probably
blast. Yeah.
Oh sure.
So folks who are in the chat, thank you very much for joining us on Doomed. Reminder, tomorrow we're going to be starting back up on RPG Clinic. We will be starting, however, we're trying out a new time, 1700 Eastern. That's 5 o'clock Eastern time. This is a change, which is for the foreseeable future, because we have a lot of European viewers, and maybe an extra hour early would help. No skin off our backs. Frankly, it's fine. We're hoping to have a one-shot for you tomorrow. We'll stay tuned to the Discord. Things have changed very quickly here in Quebec, so, we're trying to stay on top of what the rules and regulations are. But anyway, that's a long story. So you can, just stay tuned to the Discord, and you'll find out what we're up to tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern on RPG Clinic. And then I hope you can join us again for the exciting, dramatic, doomed conclusion of this campaign, hopefully Monday afternoon, right here on twitch.tv/BithTheBouse.
Hi.
That's it, eh? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Crosshair. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Oh my god, Crosshair. What's happening? What just happened?
I just drew the...
Oh, you did. Okay. I thought... Sorry, no, I know the stream can't see this, but all the cards are being drawn. Whoa! Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Bye!